This is so good. This won't even rate my band.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Campfire Tale stream. We're back!
I always enjoy that.
That is always a great way to start it out with Kyle from fucking South Park. Not good Kyle, but other Kyle.
So how does this look exactly through OBS and YouTube? Does it just have our fucking Skype pictures, or?
Yeah, it does. It just has. I just basically screen capped Skype and throw it in there. The only thing you don't see is me. That's it. Like, you don't see when I'm directly talking, but you guys can.
That's good. We didn't want to look at you anyway.
Yeah, fuck me. Yeah. Man. I'm an ugly motherfucker.
Fuck you right in the pussy.
Right in the fucking gabber.
But yeah, we were just having a conversation, and it started off with Code saying something. What were you saying, Code?
I was saying that I'm not too sure faggot is a homophobic term, because I'm not too sure it implies prejudice against...
No, that is what you originally said.
Well, okay, so I totally... Phobia always means fear, so I always felt, you know what, it means you're afraid of gay people. I was wrong, I admitted it. But even still, I don't think it makes you... I don't think kike means you're like a... You think that's a it's derogatory, but I don't think like it's prejudiced.
Kike is specifically derogatory and prejudiced against the Jewish.
If I use the term kike to describe you, it means that inherently I think that that is a negative because it is a negative word. It is
neckbeard. I don't think that's negative.
What's not a negative?
Neckbeard.
Yeah, but that isn't. Tied to a racial prejudice or a stereotype, a religious, one second.
Wait, I call you a cunt all the fucking time.
Nothing wrong with a cunt. That's a body part.
Now, there you go.
So it's only derogatory sometimes?
Well, no. Well, that's the thing. I mean, the conversation started because some guy posted on. I was on the Titanfall fucking subreddit because I fucking love that subreddit, and there was a thing just going, "You are a fag if you use these weapons," and it was every weapon in the game because use any of these weapons and you're what is quote unquote a fag, in gamer lexicon, and it was just like this guy posted on there in a really serious thing. Everybody knows that the word isn't fucking serious, and it was just like, I really despair at the use of homophobic language, and it's just like. Yes, we're all aware that but it's been that word for so long. I guess we're taking it back like fucking Clerks and Porch Monkey. I don't know. You can't.
For the longest,
if you want a full Randall Graves.
Honestly, for the longest time, I didn't know that Porch Monkey was actually a slur.
How?
I just never heard it used.
Oh my god, you are actually Randall Graves.
Yes.
Fuck, man.
I work at a movies now. I used to work at a convenience store in Jersey.
Oh god. Does that mean that your grandma, she wasn't racist? She was just one of those old-timey folks until she referred to a knife as a broken beer bottle as a nigger knife.
No, she never did that. She never did that. She never did that. My great grandparents actually liked black. Well, no, they didn't. My great-grandparents were tenant farmers who were basically indifferent. They're like, man, they're humans. We get along with them, whatever. Just don't be a cunt to them. But on my uncle's side, his parents hated black people.
The whole conversation that we were having anyway before this was because of the whole Kaz thing and the Destiny videos that I watched. The pigeons got me into actually watching Destiny because they're quite amusing. And it was about the whole Madalisk thing, which is that whole controversy. It didn't really last that long. And I still will admit that the guy was stupid for using that, without thinking, but that thing got blown up well out of proportion.
I don't know. I think for something to be prejudiced, there's got to be intent matters. You know what I mean? If if I'm calling you a fag and my intent is because you're gay and I hate you because you're gay and I'm calling you a faggot, okay. If I call you a fag just because I've called people fags, cunts, twats, kikes, niggers, I mean anything under the sun.
Wait. Before we tag this, are we going full poll at the moment?
No, we're not.
Okay, good.
I'm just saying, like, I will use anything under the sun to call you, right? I don't really care. Anything that anybody somewhere in the world would think is derogatory, I'll say it. I will call you that. And there's no malicious intent behind it at all. And I think there needs to be that intent for something to really be prejudiced.
Not if the word exists already, basically, to be a prejudicial word. You use it in a negative sense, like you'd call me, say you'd call me an asshole. That is it may be playful, yes, but it has a negative, as you are saying it in a negative insinuation. Are you not? So the word that you use has negative connotations, which means that it is a negative word in the first place, which means it is prejudice. That's how it works. You can use it, but just be aware that it is. But that is how it works. That is how the words work.
But like my wife calls me an asshole all the fucking time, and rarely is it malicious. Rarely does it mean negative.
No, but it is in the negative. That's not, even if it's a term of endearment for you. 99.9% of people would see it as, a negative connotation.
Well, then to them, I would say, grow the fuck up. I mean, because intent matters. Intent does matter.
I'm sure it does. You don't have any argument here, but I am self-aware enough to know that these words are negative and used in any light is in a negative sort of stance. But
I don't know. You just said, "Can I go have a fag?" Meaning cigarette. So it really is fag. Really, like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, no, it's very different based on the situation. Like, if you're saying I'm going to go and have a fag, people know you're not being derogatory towards gay people. If you call someone a fag, they know that you're insinuating that they're gay.
When you say I'm gonna go have a fag,
yeah, but that's because that's just a cultural thing. You know, like in England, everyone knows what having a fag is, whereas in America, it's very bizarre.
I wonder if there's a 20% chance you might be going to have a fag.
It's always possible.
The traditions and cultural things that are associated. It was quite funny. Someone was telling me recently about in the Netherlands when they celebrate Christmas. Basically, Santa has a black helper who's basically in blackface. It's completely racist and it's a hangover from
God, that is hilarious.
Yeah. And it's like, and apparently they just don't get that it is massively racist because people just choose to dress up as that one. Just because they know it's racist, but they can get away with it. And my mate was just talking about. He showed me a picture of one of the guys from. From the Guardian, and it was just fucking hilarious. It was just like these people. They don't understand. Like, I mean, even Britain abandoned the gollywog. Because that is exactly fucking what it is. It was just a bit like the word, nigger. It is a word that or a thing that has negative connotations about black people. It's a stereotype. So
it wasn't. Do you know about the Gollywog Code, and Jerry?
I've heard that term. I don't know what it means.
It was a toy. It was a toy in England, and I don't know where else. Probably in some of Europe as well. But it was like a children's toy that was essentially a blackface children's doll.
Oh, that's not racist at all.
It was hilarious.
And it was also the advertising mascot for a marmalade.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh, God. Go through the American South. You'll find a lot of old, racist... just the American blackface kind of shit that still persists in the South from the olden days.
I've heard that you... Sorry, yeah.
I was watching an episode of American Pickers where they found something that went in a fireplace. I can't remember specifically what the item was, but it was just a cast iron cutout of the typical stereotypical black man. Had the big fake outline lips and the bowling pin kind of shaped head and had a little cap on.
I've heard that if you go to thrift shops in the south in the US, you can find like every once in a while you'll find something incredibly racist.
Oh, you absolutely will.
Like, I know, like, blackface door stoppers and shit like that, which are hilarious, but, you know, obviously incredibly insensitive.
God.
But,
I think I've actually seen, not with my own eyes, but on the internet, I have seen a doorstopper that looked like a set of a black person's lips.
Yeah, and I liked David Jaffe's argument when it comes to words, but here's the thing, I totally get it, and personally I'm not particularly offended by words. However, I do totally understand why people are. It's like with David Jaffe, he'll say fag around like his close friends and things, but he won't say it in public because he used to say it in public a lot, and like he used to kind of believe the same thing. I mean, I'm not hurting anyone, you know. And then his brother at the age of 35 came out as gay, and he was like, and he's just thinking to himself, I've been using this as a pejorative, like a derogatory term for so long that's probably influenced him in a negative way, and whilst it never probably seriously damaged him, it was influential in the way he lived his life, because, you know, he was seen as a derogatory term, so he was a bit worried as to how his brother and his family would have taken it.
Oh, there is one thing that I forgot that is kind of a racist hangover from the old days that still persists, and that's Aunt Jemima syrup.
Oh?
Because it has like that typical black like mammy as its logo, and it has not changed in like 40 years.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's just this big black woman's face on the fucking label, and it's never going away.
Aunt Jemima witnesses.
Yeah.
But
want some pancakes?
But that's the thing. It's like if you're on a bus or something. Going back to the conversation that was just saying. If you're on the bus or something and you call someone a fag or a retard, you don't know everyone's stories and lives that you're sharing that bus with. There could be a mother on that bus with a child with Down syndrome or cerebral palsy at home, you know, and it's something you wouldn't wish upon anybody to have, like, actively have a disabled child. But you've got to recognise that there are people with disabled children in the world, and you should probably do your best to not make life harder than it probably already is for someone like that. You know?
It's like I laugh at jokes about people with Down syndrome on I'm going to hell for this, but I don't go around calling them potatoes.
Yeah, like if you saw someone with Down syndrome, you would be like retard in the street or something.
And I don't say fag, like, in public. I mean, I do on the stream and all, but, like, I don't sit on the bus and go, oh, you're a fucking fag, right? Like, I get it. People would be butthurt about it. Though, in Jaffe's situation, I would hope his brother would know Jaffe well enough to know, like, he doesn't hate gay people. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between buddies joking around, hey, you're a fucking fag, hey, you're a fucking twat, right? Versus somebody going, I can't fucking hate fags. They're going to fucking hell and I wish they would all die, right? Like, there's an immense difference there. And you would hope family would get that, right?
I did like how South Park handled that because, you know, they had Mr. Slave and Big Gay Al kind of walking around the town. And they saw the big billboard that said "Fags Get Out," and they were like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" And they went and talked to the town council, and they were like, "Well, what's this about?" And they just like, "Oh, that's just an anti-motorcycle riders poster." And they go, "Oh, you mean fags? Okay."
Yeah, no, I get that. They are just words in the sense of it. Like there is an inherent difference from saying "What's up, man, nigga?" just when you're meeting a friend or something.
Yo, what it is, cuz.
Yeah, no, there's a difference when you go, "What's up, nigga?" and then, like, a black person's at your front door and you're like, "You can't come in my house. I don't like black people." Like, yeah, no, there is that difference. However, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be sensitive to other people's, you know, lives. It's like, yeah, it's like I sometimes, like, I had an experience like this where I use gay a lot, and it's really bad. As just like, oh, that's gay. It means nothing. I'm just kind of, it doesn't even mean anything by that point.
At this point, but, gay has kind of lost all meaning.
Well, yeah,
as, as at least a derogatory term.
Yeah, but the thing is that, like, with gay, it's like, I always used to say in high school, that's gay, like, a lot more. And there was a guy who I sat next to called Oliver, and he always went quiet when I said, "Oh, that's gay." And I never really pegged as to why. And then he came out as gay, and I was like,
and then he pegged you.
No. And I was, that's a point where you're like, oh, yeah, I feel shitty now. Like, I can see why he didn't appreciate that,
It's like, sorry.
It's funny because some people go like that, and then some people just tolerate it as, that's you. That's the way that you are. That's the way that you're programmed, etc.
It's like Hillary Clinton's reaction to finding out that Bill Clinton slept with Monica Lewinsky. Because you know what Hillary's reaction was to that? That's what he does. And she was totally cool about it. She's like, that's what he does.
He gets blown.
Yeah, he gets blown in the Oval Office.
Oh.
Which is...
That's something I could only wish to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's funny that I think it's one of Jimmy Carter's daughters or Gerald Ford's daughters, one in that kind of era, was actually the first person to toke up in the White House.
It wasn't. It was Willie Nelson. He smoked a joint on the roof of the White House with one of the presidents.
Wonder what year
genuinely.
that was.
You can look it up. I'm not sure which.
It's fucking better than what Elvis did. I'm gonna say that straight away.
What the fuck did he do?
Elvis brought a fucking gun to the White House and presented it to Richard Nixon.
Well, to off himself.
No, he presented it and then Nixon made Elvis. This is the irony of the 20th century. Nixon got presented a gun by Elvis Presley, and then Elvis Presley got made an honorary DEA agent by the president.
No.
That's beautiful.
One of the most famous men to ever be just blown out of his head on pills gets given an honorary DEA membership.
By the way, I have a hilarious topic, and Jerry, can you show this to the stream? This link I'm about to send?
Yeah, give me a second. I'll drop the link in the chat.
Well, no, I mean as in, like, on the actual stream.
Yeah, give me just a second.
Alright.
I mean, I can share it on I can share my screen.
Well, no, but it's gonna be shit quality, so don't. Alright, so this is hilarious, right? Is this the grottiest grotto? New winter Bloodland tourist attraction closes after less than a day following a barrage of complaints from parents who paid £20 per ticket. Yorkshire's magical Winterland attraction at the event centre in Harrogate was closed a day after opening. Parents complained about rubbish-strewn hallways, creepy mannequins, and poorly constructed exhibitions. Organisers reopened the event today, but apart from an increase in tacky decorations, there was no real change. Families are demanding refunds as they paid up to £20 for a ticket and the treatment was unacceptable. This is the latest in a line of attractions which failed to impress, including one designed by Llewellyn Bowen?
Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen.
Oh, like, Lawrence. That's fucking Welsh names, cunts. Anyway, look at the pictures.
Yeah, that's what I'm putting on the stream right now. And there's oh my god, there's a fucking video.
I love. Just have a look.
That polar bear. Those polar bears are amazing.
Those are the saddest things I have ever seen. Someone deserves an award for that. The saddest thing's
the reindeer. Look at it. It just looks depressed.
Yeah, it's just like, oh,
kill me.
And then you've got the creepy looking mannequin. Is this supposed to be fucking Santa?
I think that's supposed to be the Grinch.
What?
I know.
They just took a department store mannequin and painted it fucking green.
Yeah.
The Halloween display.
What's with the cobwebs and that? Yeah, like,
I don't know. No one knows what that's supposed to be.
Did someone kick the polar bears over?
I don't know. And then look, you've got fucking. You look at the others. Some of them are just deflated. You just straight up can't even tell what some of them are.
That mini golf course is amazing. The festive 9-hole golf course promised twinkling Christmas lights, fantastic gifts to overcome, and even Santa Claus himself. Fucking Santa's like a foot tall.
That's a happy family right
there. Let
me
read out some more of this article. The magical journey at the Belfry Golf Club in Warwickshire attracted more than 1,000 complaints about rude staff, a sweary Father Christmas, and elves that just sat around smoking. The magical Winterland reopened yesterday with the promise it would be better than ever. However, parents and children were still underwhelmed. Some attempts to improve it had been made. Enthusiastic elves who encouraged children to throw paper snowballs, and there was an increase in decorations and fairy lights. However, further inside, the attraction appeared to be the same sorry situation described by the parents who walked out in disgust on its first day, including a 3-hour wait to see Santa. Susie Smith, 32, from Barnsley, who brought her 2-year-old daughter Heidi to the attraction, said, "I thought we would give it a chance and come in and make my own mind up, but it's really very, very poor. I had a vision in my head of a really magical place for kids to come before Christmas, but to be honest, it's just a bit depressing." And then
Depressing doesn't touch it, judging by
That's
the
quite
photos.
funny. Depressing in the north.
I know, and then
That's an oxymoron.
I know, right? And then you see the golf course, and it's like mini golf, but with the least amount of effort possible.
Yeah, they
put
just
in.
bought the fucking things already pre-cut. They just stuck them and screwed them together and then sat them out. Done.
And they just put like what I think is supposed to be trees, which are little more than just plastic cones.
Plastic green cones and a few Christmas decorations you could probably buy at a 99-cent store.
There's literally one Christmas decoration on there, and that's just the 1-foot Santa.
No,
and
no,
then
no. There's
just
more.
some presents.
Yeah, the presents, that's it. And then the light. You gotta remember the light, too.
It reminds me of something that would be in like League of Gentlemen. You know.
Yeah.
Your mama's not dead.
My personal favourite thing, though, is the Lapland New Forest in Dorset.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to the top of the page. 2 brothers were jailed for misleading thousands of customers at a Lapland-themed park on the Hampshire and Dorset border. Victor Mears, 67, and Henry Mears, 60, ran the Lapland New Forest attraction in 2008, but it closed within days after hundreds of complaints. In February 2011, they were found guilty of 8 charges of misleading the public. And then there's a picture that everyone has to see.
It's just
2 brothers.
It's just dirt field picture.
It's just a muddy field, and then a fucking picture of what's supposed to be the nativity scene.
It's
Now-
about ethics in nativity scenes.
Now, here's the funny
portrayals.
thing. If you look at the box office picture, there's actually a list of live performances.
Oh, God.
Like a circus, $5 per person. Performance begins every day at 10:30 a.m. 1:15, 7 p.m. inside the Big Top. Pop-up panto. Performances begin on 10:15. Christmas Carol with puppets, and then Frozen sing-along.
Nice.
There's so many things wrong with this, I don't know where to begin.
All tickets for live performances must be pre-booked. Day tickets will be available at the box office. Under 25, go free to all live performances. Pigeon, you could go.
Yeah.
Not spend shit. Go sing Let It Go 1,000 times.
Let it go, let it
I love the
go,
box
let it
office.
go.
Yeah.
It's like a little printed sign, box office. With fucking
Just-
staple on snow.
Fucking
It's so
legit.
awesome.
So aren't we supposed to be having a guest?
We are,
We
but
are.
they haven't arrived yet, and you're not supposed to be in game.
I'm not supposed to be in game, but I told you I got nothing to say.
Thanks, well,
That's cool.
and then
That-
we've got...
Tommy Wiseau spent more money on the room than that theme park did. Fuck!
I know.
Daniel Nguyen spent more money on Birdemic than they did on that.
Yeah. And here's one of my favourites. And here's another article that I thought that was quite funny. Dick Cheney insists rectal feeding was for medical reasons, not torture.
What?
Yep. Former US Vice President robustly defends CIA interrogation methods. Republicans and intelligence community attack Senate report. Controversial rectal feeding technique used to control behavior. Do you want to hear about the control technique?
Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Alright, here's the article. It's a bit long.
Just give us a TLDR.
Alright, let me just find it. Alright, yeah. CIA operatives subjected at least 5 detainees to what they called rectal rehydration and feeding, a medical practice applied with extreme rarity and known more colloquially as a nutrient enema, according to a Senate Intelligence Committee report released Tuesday. The CIA forced the nutrient enemas on 2 detainees who refused and attempted hunger strikes, a third who partially refused liquids, a fourth without a determination of medical need, and a fifth whose case details are not divulged. Agency operatives had explicitly considered other methods of force feeding, the report shows, but opted to subject detainees to rectal infusions, at least in part because the officers considered them a means of behaviour control. One medical officer wrote that, while IV infusion is safe and effective, we were impressed with the ancillary effectiveness of rectal bending the water refusal. So in other words,
somewhere, someone in Los Angeles is paying thousands of dollars for that.
Yep. But I just love how it's like, oh well, they're not really liking the fluids thing. Let's just shove up their arse. That'll get them back in line.
I mean, like, did you hear about the coffee enema thing?
No.
That's apparently a big thing. At least it was like a year or two ago. It was a big thing to get warm coffee ran up your ass, and people were paying just outrageous prices for the treatment. I almost said out the ass for treatment. That'd be kind of an oxymoron.
Hey-o.
People were paying just outrageous sums of money to get coffee enemas. Also, Momo and boo.
What?
Boo.
What?
They said the CIA are pretty shitty.
Boo.
Well, the CIA is pretty shitty.
Oh, it really is. If you knew half of what the CIA did, you'd be like, why the fuck are my tax dollars going to these people?
Was it in the 80s and 90s? Isn't it confirmed that they tried to test LSD on unknowing participants by essentially there was like a CIA-controlled brothel somewhere in America.
It was pretty much confirmed that's true.
And they essentially just drugged the Johns who went in there with LSD just to see what would happen.
Oh yeah, they gave LSD to the army too, to see what it would do.
Yeah, I can imagine them not doing it anymore because I don't think that's going to make them any more effective. They might just realise that they're one with the universe, but I don't think they'll be very effective at blowing someone's fucking head off.
Oh, no. We did the LSD thing, the MOD. That was fucking hilarious if you've ever seen that video.
What was that?
The guys standing there laughing their asses off.
Yeah, they gave LSD to a bunch of fucking Brits in, like, fucking...
Did they know?
Yeah, they were part of a controlled test.
Oh, well, that's very different, isn't it?
Yeah, but it was fucking funny.
Yeah. And then you've got things like, didn't America also have to pay damages to a French village? Because they essentially injected the bread with huge amounts of LSD, and there was a huge fucking outbreak of just psychosis in the entire town.
Yep, that was in the 70s.
The French deserve that.
I mean, yeah, fuck the French, but it's probably a shitty thing to do. I mean, come on.
I mean, let's see. Have you guys ever heard about the story that happened with, I think it was not the CIA, but the DEA and the crack sale that went on right across from the White House?
No.
The CIA basically entrapped a dude to buy cocaine from him so George H.W. Bush, could basically go on TV, I think that night or within the next few days, and say these drugs were bought right by the White House. This is a serious problem.
Mm-hmm. Well, to be fair, where are they going to least expect you to do it? In the White House.
Oh yeah.
Do a drug trade in the White House. No one will fucking guess that you're doing that.
Yeah, I mean, because like we were talking about earlier, I mean, there's been people smoke doobies in the White House. I just sounded really fucking archaic with that. I'll go back to the fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah, you are pretty old, Jerry.
You're older than I am.
I know.
And Code's older than both of us.
I know, but I don't sound like an old fag.
Yes, you do.
You kind of do.
In my day.
Back in my day, I used to watch Cartoon Network back when it was good.
No, that back when it showed cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I was around when it still showed fucking cartoons.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't start getting shitty until like the 2010s.
Mm-hmm. And if you're still watching Cartoon Network, you know, when you're like in your late 20s, it's probably some bigger issues.
Fuck that, watch Boomerang.
Hey,
Boomerang's
hey.
got better shows. Well, you have
I still watch
kids.
Cartoon Network.
You
Yes,
have
I
kids.
do.
You have excuse.
Nah, he's not using that as an excuse.
But he can, that's what I'm saying.
I like the idea that his daughter just goes, like, I want to watch something, Daddy. He's like, fuck off, I'm watching My Little Pony. It's better.
She loves Futurama.
And how old is she?
3. She just turned 3.
How does she... She probably doesn't even understand the vast majority of it.
She doesn't. She just knows it's cartoons with colorful lights and a robot and, you know, a pink thing
And then
being
Amy.
Zoidberg. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
she doesn't really get it.
that's the thing, though. I wouldn't be that against exposing your kids to things like The Simpsons and Futurama, because the humor's subtle enough where you can kind of completely... Who the fuck's pissing into a bowl?
I wish
My
I
neighbor
was.
or somebody flushed the toilet.
No, that
It's
isn't
not
a
me.
toilet.
Yeah, it is. I'm down in my basement.
You're peeing.
No,
No,
the
I'm in the
water's running
basement.
through his house.
Oh, okay.
Water's running through the fucking pipes.
Alright.
He is war going
Yeah.
through the
Someone peed in Code's house.
Yeah.
Someone peed in
Oh
my
god.
house.
Yeah, if you want to
But
watch
where
old
was
if you want to watch old Cartoon Network, go fucking watch Boomerang. They still show like Dexter's Laboratory and Powerpuff Girls and shit like that.
What was I just saying?
Anyway, if there was a channel that was still showing the fucking old Transformers, I'd watch that.
That's because you're autistic.
Yeah, because I like robots. Oh no.
Yeah, you're, like people in your 50s, like when you're in your 50s and you're old and nobody loves you, like they're, you know, you're gonna have a few relatives that are like, oh, we've got to go visit Uncle Cerberus.
How am I going to have a few? How am I going to have a few relatives if I don't like, you know, if
Because
my
they're
family's
not-
entire dead?
Well, no, your family might not be dead. You know, you've still got your sister. She'll probably end up getting knocked up at some point.
Oh,
And then
that
there'll
doesn't
be
mean
like-
I'll stay in touch.
It's not really your choice.
I will
It
say
is.
this: I do like Adventure Time on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, but
That
I
show-
can just imagine that in his 50s he's going to be going, oh, what are you doing here? Oh, sweet, Transformers on Laser Ray. Oh, the original cartoon show. And then he just sits in front of his really old TV and he's like, yay, Transformers.
it's just
I like
being-
Oh,
them."
fuck you,
It's-
faggot. I enjoy something.
It's
What the fuck's
literally
your problem.
it's literally just being transmitted on a beam of light.
Everything is awful. Yeah, it probably will be by that point. Who fucking knows?
I imagine Serbs will be watching it on an old CRT TV, like one of the tube TVs.
They were better.
Totally. And on VHS.
And it has the fucking
Love
burn
this
in
stuff.
on the screen like every CRT monitor got.
Fuck VHS, you're gonna be watching it on Betamax.
I wish. I fucking wish.
Superior format.
No. It's fucking decent TV.
And
Still got the-
Shinju in chat says, just buy the DVDs for G1 Transformers. The entire series is out on DVDs in the US at least.
Yeah, no, it is out in the UK, but unfortunately don't have any money at the moment. No job.
Pirate Bet. Oh wait.
Oh, wait. And I got more important anime to fucking... Well, that's the thing. If you're going to fucking take the piss at it... I mean, all those people that are like, cartoons... half of them fucking watch anime at the same fucking time.
Yeah.
What the fuck? It's just like...
Yeah, and there are some terrible,
Cartoons.
terrible anime out there.
Yeah. Telling me.
But yeah,
Fucking
no,
watch
like, I honestly...
Yeah,
oh,
there's-
that's what we were trying... I was trying to talk
There's-
about before I got
there-
interrupted. Yeah, with things like The Simpsons and Futurama, I probably wouldn't be that averse to my kids watching it, because it's the humour where it's kind of all in how it's said. The kids aren't going to get things, like, because it's not, like, a visual thing, it's quite subtle.
Yeah.
And, but then you've
Oh,
got things like Family Guy, where it just
Yeah.
goes, you know, it's just, it gives you the joke and shoves it down your throat until you like it.
It's like time
So-
I did coke with Jimmy Durante. And where's my cutaway joke?
Yeah, it is pretty much all like that. And yeah, I mean, what other shows are pretty good for like, they're good for adults? Cartoons are good for adults as well as children.
Bravest Warriors, I'd say, on YouTube.
I believe it or not, y'all, everybody's gonna laugh. I fucking love Curious George.
Curious George.
Can't.
I fucking love it.
Fucking Blue's Clues.
No, fuck Blue's Clues.
Alright, don't have a fight, guys.
Yeah, it's better than fucking Dora the Explorer. Jesus Christ. That bitch couldn't find a map if it was... That bitch couldn't
They're both terrible.
That bitch couldn't find a map if it was literally strapped to her back. Oh, wait!
It is strapped to her back. It's in her backpack.
Why I gotta do shit? Why I gotta tell her to get the fucking map out? She just reach back there and get that shit. I don't have to call it out. What is this, fucking magical summoning scroll shit?
I agree, except the kids love it. My daughter will sit there and scream, "The map! Map! It's over there, Dora!" You know, like, they fucking love it. It's stupid.
Well, no, they don't love it. They're actually just really frustrated. They're like, "It's over there, you dumb bitch! It's right fucking behind you! Seriously!"
I love
your goddamn fucking eyes.
I love the bits where just seeing vines of people go like Dora will say, you know, "So what did you like most about Dan?" The guy be like, "I love watching you get, you know, fucked in the ass by 3 separate guys and drinking all their jizz," and then she'd go, "I like that too." That is one of the greatest things to come out of that show.
I've got another cute little thing. Porn parodies that have some amazingly creative names.
Space Nuts?
No. It's better than that. Okay, the first one's a parody of Evil Dead, and it's called Evil Head.
Oh, God. Pigeon, can you give us a review?
No, I've never seen any of these.
About a plot synopsis, or does it have one?
Then there's a parody of Clockwork Orange. It's called Clockwork Orgy.
I've seen that, actually.
It would have been better if it was like Cockwork something.
It might. No, it's not. It's Clockwork. And then there's Rebel Without a Condom.
Jesus fucking Christ. They're just getting unoriginal now, aren't they?
And for Edward Scissors Hands, we have Edward Penis Hands.
Edward Penis Hands is hilarious, by the way.
I've heard it is. He's got like dicks on every finger.
There was I know you watch it, but if any of you other guys seen porn scenes worthy of an Oscar?
No.
The first scene of the last one they did on E-Fucked, where there are 2 girls running away, and they're being chased by a couple of hunters, and the dude draws his bow back, and he has a gigantic blue floppy dildo on it, and then he fires it, and you just see it go right in her butt, just in the shittiest editing you've ever seen, and it just goes. You even hear it just go, it just right into her butt. It was
directly in.
Fucking hilarious. And then they're going like, go on without me. Can't get it out.
And then there's Game of Bones with the tagline, "Winter is coming."
Isn't the porn parody of Game of Thrones just Game of Thrones?
No, Game of Bones.
There's a lot of fucking in that show.
Yeah, but this is full uncensored.
Straight, gay, and lesbian. Just...
And then we've got Tigers Got Wood.
Jamal says, to be fair, Clockwork Orange is soft porn, which I would agree with that.
Yeah. And then there's...
Tigers Got Wood, I like that.
And then for Pulp Fiction, we've got Pulp Friction.
I thought it was Pump Friction.
And then we've got...
God.
For Lord of the Rings, we've got Whore of the Rings. And for The Hills Have Eyes, we have The Whores Have Eyes.
I certainly hope they do. I think it'd be freaky to get a little bit too freaky and Uncanny Valley to get blown by a chick with no eyes.
And then for Piranha 3D, we've got Piranha 3 Double D.
That's not a porn parody. That was the actual sequel.
Are you sure?
Yes. That was the actual fucking
And there was
sequel.
also a porno of it.
Yeah. Well, duh. I mean, because that movie is basically soft porn anyway.
And then there's... Yeah, but you've said that about everything. Midnight Video presents the story of a man-eater. Honey, I blew everybody.
Honey, I blew everybody. That makes the sequel, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, very, very weird.
Mm-hmm. Jurassic Pork. Only the sexy survive.
Oh, God. Why?
And then for the Bourne Identity, we have the Porn Identity.
Wait, I gotta ask this. Are the porn actresses in Jurassic Pork real CGI or animatronic?
No. And for the Porn Identity, it is starring Jessica James.
Ooh. Mate.
And then we've got...
They got the classic Stand By Pirates, you know.
Yeah.
Which is excellent.
And then for, oh god, what's the actual original name? Something Bang Bang.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, we have Titty Titty Gang Bang.
Now that I have to see.
That...
I'm Googling that.
It does look quite good.
Is it still starring Dick Van Dyke? Because I believe that's just, you know, that's just something they needed to bring in.
I don't think so.
One from the chat, Saving Ryan's Privates.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a little too on the nose, but still funny.
And then we've got, for The Exorcist, we've got the Triple Exorcist. It's just the XX Exorcist.
Is that a vomit fetish movie? I mean...
When the devil is inside, the power of Christ compels you.
Please tell me that is the actual tagline for that movie. Oh my fucking god. There are people that got paid to write that.
And then there's the Da Vinci Load.
There are people that have made millions of dollars off of these films, and there are writers that got paid thousands of dollars to write those taglines for these movies.
Yep. And the tagline for the Da Vinci Load is "The truth comes out."
Who's actually
fucking hilarious!
I gotta know this. What's the name of the porn stars in the Da Vinci Load?
Joey Hart, Eva Angelina, Hayley Page, Missy Monroe, Jasmine Tame, Tory Lane, Charlotte Stokely, and Michelle Malin.
And still can't jerk off to it. Weirdly enough.
Yeah, and then
solely because of Haley Jade. Funnily enough.
Haley J.
Yeah, Haley J. Or is it Haley J or Jade?
Jade, I think.
Okay, yeah, then no, I can't.
And then we've got for A Tale of Two Cities, we've got A Tale of Two Titties.
So just a woman.
It's just a bunch of women with big fake tits. And then...
Comedy gold, ladies and gentlemen.
And then we've got John and Kate, fuck Kate. They drift apart to find another, then come back to fuck each other. Starring Frankie Young as John, Riley Evans as Kate. Also starring Amy Stars, Christy West, it doesn't matter, who fucking cares. And then we've got Lara Croft. Oh no, Cara Loft, Womb Raider. Which is quite cute.
There are people that get paid to write this, and it pains me because I could write better puns.
And then there's another one, Sex Busters, I Ain't Afraid of No Ho.
I've seen that one, actually. It is fucking hilarious. Because it's Gianna Michaels fucking someone, and then all of a sudden, like, they basically fuck him to death, and he just explodes in ectoplasm. Ooh, spooky ghost!
I like that. Gianna Michaels is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
We've got... Sorry, yeah?
She's a woman who's not afraid. That is what I love about her. She spit a load in a heckler's face.
Yep.
I'm sold.
And then there's This Isn't the Twilight Saga Eclipse, the Triple X parody. Sometimes you have to choose.
Oh, God. Hey, you know what? It might as well be written by Stephanie Meyer. I mean, Jesus Christ, at least they fucking it.
Yeah, and then in this one, for Saturday Night Fever, we have Saturday Night Beaver.
Too easy.
Yeah, and then we've got, for Mission Impossible, we've got Missionary Position Impossible.
I thought you were going to say, and it's probably a parody of it too, Fisting Impossible.
No. And then for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, we have the Texas Vibrator Massacre.
That's not nearly as good.
And for Forrest Gump, we have Forrest Hump.
Do you just hear him doing the noise that Forrest Gump does when the principal walks out of his house after he's banged his mom? It's just the entire time the actor playing Forrest is just like,
Yeah. And then George Bailey, Eat Your Heart Out. For It's a Wonderful Life, we have Tits, A Wonderful Life.
Now, Tits Are a Wonderful Life.
Hey, to go with the holiday theme, why not?
Exactly.
You know, it's only, it's you know, it's 10 days until Christmas Eve.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I need to go buy presents. That's awful.
Amazon. By the way, when are we gonna get Amazon on as a sponsor?
When we have people watching us.
Yeah,
so never.
True. Yeah.
So that answers
Just
your question.
Tits a Wonderful... I do want to... Because it is the Christmas season, I do want to watch Tits a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, I do want to watch that too. Actually, I might do that.
What the fuck are you doing?
No, it wasn't the
Washers on.
It wasn't Ghostbusters that I watched. It was a porn parody. It was a different one with Gianna Michaels. It was called Nutbusters.
Makes sense.
But it was still, I think it was a superhero porn parody.
That's beautiful. So, have you guys seen anything recently?
Like what?
Seen anything funny? Anything interesting?
No, not really, to be honest.
No, I
Well,
had
here's something interesting.
fucking exams last week, so no.
That's fair enough. Pirate Bay shutdown has had virtually no effect on digital piracy levels.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, seriously.
It kind of goes to show you that it doesn't matter how many you shut down, a million will take their places.
Yeah, because what happened when the Pirate Bay shut down? Everybody moved to fucking Mega Upload. And then when Mega Upload got shut down, guess what happened? The Pirate Bay come up again.
Yep.
And it's like they're just trolling each other, or they're in cahoots with each other, not making conspiracy theory here, but it's just like, Pirate Bay shut down, well, that means our revenue's going to go up. Turns out that the guys who run the Pirate Bay have a deal with Kim.com to outsource all their pirated material.
Yep.
So where's our guest, Pigeon?
No response. So that's... I'll tell you. And then we have... What else?
Can you give her a ring?
No.
Well. I mean, just shoot a message at her on Skype.
I don't have a Skype. That's kind of the problem.
Oh, well, fine.
And... So what else do we have? So guys, what have you been playing this week?
Oh,
I have been playing Final Fantasy XIV a fuck ton.
How's it been going?
I love it. I did try WildStar against everybody's best, or against everybody's advice. I fucking bit the bullet, bought WildStar, checked it out. And the combat is really fun, but that is about it.
Oh, really?
So that's...
I gave a shot to Xenonauts this week, which I think is actually a pretty fun game. It takes a lot to master it, which I'm not there yet. Because Xenonauts is like a hybrid between all the Paradox kind of strategy games, mixed with XCOM, because the combat in game is all very turn-based, with the exception of the fighter combat, which is pretty much almost the exact way XCOM runs. And then the map view is very kind of Paradox games, because you build bases all over the world, you build them up, you have them defend against aliens, etc., etc. It's fun if you like XCOM, and if you like, Europa Universalis and Hearts of Iron, stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Code, have you played anything else on your brand new PC?
Well, yeah, you and I were playing some Torchlight 2. That was fun.
Shit, yeah.
Let's see, what else? Divinity Original Sin. I've been toying with it, but I want to put it off because I feel like it's going to take a lot of my time.
Yeah.
Child of Light plays fucking beautifully. Then again, it's not all that intensive, but Child of Light looks fucking beautiful on my new gaming computer. Let's see, what else? What else have I fucking played? Toyed around a bit with King's Bounty, but I'm holding off on that too. Heroes of the Storm, fucking amazing.
Really?
Anybody out there who are MOBA fans, Heroes of the Storm is really fucking awesome.
I still want to punch Ubisoft in the dick, and it's actually not for some of their new releases. It's for Driver San Francisco on PC. Because it does not accept controller inputs. Like I have a USB gamepad, and it will not read it at all. I can't even change the settings.
Just to go back to WildStar, that's published by NCSoft.
Yes.
Isn't it? Okay. Now, NCSoft are publishers that are quite big out of South Korea. They've had Lineage, Guild Wars, but they haven't. They seem to be a bit like EA, and because I'm just researching them, because they're going to be putting out a mech-based game, which I don't know if you've seen, called Project Hon, which has been put out by a team by NCSoft. It looks like they're now starting to actually buy studios and absorb them into it, because previously they were just publishing titles in South Korea, I think, and elsewhere. I don't know. It was that published by NCSoft?
Yes.
That copy, Wildstar.
Yeah,
but
it was published by NCSoft.
So I'm actually browsing. I was about to say I'm actually browsing around their website right now. The studio that did it, which was Carbine Studios.
Did they also did was it Star Wars Online? No,
that was
Carbine did another good an MMO I actually liked. What was it? I don't remember.
They did. They were formed apparently by 17 former members of Blizzard Entertainment, World of Warcraft development team, and they attracted talent from Fallout, EverQuest, City of Heroes, Half-Life 2, but they put out...
Maybe it was City of Heroes.
I want you to notice something, Serbs, because I could tell you're on the website too. Look at when their last blog post was.
It's just loading. On the English page, was
just
the last blog post.
Yeah.
June 4th,
2014. Yeah. And it was the
June 4th, and then the one before that.
Yeah.
Was, April 26, 2013.
Yeah. They had one blog post before launch, and that's been it.
But if you go to it's because if you go to the WildStar, I mean, that's their only game, is WildStar. Like, there's blog posts and shit on their, on the WildStar page.
What is the, they were founded in 2005, and that's the only game they've actually put out?
Yeah.
No, they put out...
Jeez.
No, not NCSoft.
No. WildStar will be the first game to be... Carbine. WildStar will be the first game to be released by Carbine Studios.
Yeah.
Really? I swore they...
Jesus.
NCSoft.
No, they have some of the talent from City of Heroes. So.
And WoW and several other games. But they haven't released anything besides WildStar, and that was a spectacular failure.
It wasn't a spectacular failure, but it wasn't.
It was a fart.
What it was supposed to be.
Yeah, it wasn't a fart in the wind, but it wasn't spectacular.
It always worries me because I don't understand how any company, any game developer studio in the fucking world, can actually sit there and go, "Why don't we make an MMO?" Like, it seems like such a stupid idea to go ahead and make an MMO, you know? Like, it's such an easy way to make the production of your game 10 times more expensive and probably be a failure. Torchlight 2 nearly became an MMO. After Torchlight 1, they were like, yeah, no, we want to do an MMO. And then after a little while, they were like, oh, fuck that. And then we had Torchlight 2 instead, which was great. And it's like, oh, thank Christ for that.
Apparently during the development, they went through basically loads of different engines. They started work in 2005 on the game. In 2007, NCSoft acquired basically Carbine Studios, so they are basically putting out their own, bit like EA, they are now putting out their own online
Now, Cryptic has been through several development things, which is they did Champions Online, Star Trek Online, Neverwinter, City of Heroes, City of Villains.
Going back to WildStar here real quick, a lot of the issue, and this is maybe unfair to WildStar, and the biggest reason I can't get into it is one of the huge critiques is Endgame is extremely hardcore. right? It's 40-man raids. There's only like 2 or 3 guilds worldwide who can actually raid because it's 40-man raids. There's a couple 20-man. Nobody, I guess, does dungeons anymore or the adventures.
They do, but it's like attunement, from what I gather. It's like attunement to raiding.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
that's
a
what's
prerequisite.
Yeah, that's
I mean, the
the
Metacritic score put it at 81 out of 100, and the game's rankings put it as 79. The problem is that it's only had about 3 reviews, like major reviews from Eurogamer, Games Radar, and IGN.
And that was probably done with pre-release copies.
It's another grinder, basically. Games Radar praised the game's combat system and side features, but panned the game's traditional questing as patience-breakingly long and the storytelling as shallow. So it basically kind of falls into every MMO pit at the moment.
That's what annoys me. It's like it seems like such a suicide for your studio to go, let's make an MMO. How many times have we seen good studios go, yeah, let's take a shot at making an MMO, like the Elder Scrolls MMO. I knew the second that got announced that I was going to fucking fail.
I don't think it's a failure, though.
It sounds like this development team set out basically to create the WoW that they really wanted. They seem to, by the sounds of it, they basically fell into some pitfalls and they weren't impressed with the work that they did in WoW, and so their entire thing was to set out to put out something that was an online. I think a lot of companies do. I think to get the an MMO right would be fantastic for a studio.
Yeah.
But a lot of them do end up falling into the pit of creating the same old dross. So I don't blame them for trying it, because if they actually manage to, sync them together, for instance. Eve, the success of Eve, and the fact that they tried to then branch out into something that we were looking at, Dust, which launched a fucking no critical acclaim whatsoever, and that had some really interesting dynamics. Anyone that really captures online play will be really successful, like the original creators of WoW. So It is a dangerous market, but if you get it right...
I don't think that Dust's main problem was it was trying to be new. Like, everyone loved the sound of the ideas. The problem was that the base gameplay was just really shit. Like, the shooting and, it just didn't feel fluid. And it makes you just sit there and go, why couldn't you just have nailed that one core thing down?
Apparently the biggest criticism was the graphics.
Of WildStar?
Actually.
No, Dust.
Oh, Dust.
No, for Dust.
Because that's the thing, even in WildStar, one of my friends who got it complained of severe problems with his rig. He was getting drops of 30 and 15 FPS.
What game is this you talking now?
I'm talking WildStar. He was getting complaints of drops to 30 and 15 FPS when he was using AMD cards. And as it turns out, the game itself, when on release, wasn't optimized for AMD.
Yeah, but there's a difference between not being optimized and just no optimization, right? Like,
yeah.
That's what annoys me. It's like Rage had the same problem where John Carmack said that the release for Rage on PC was an absolute clusterfuck. He actually went on record saying that, because the game was optimized for Nvidia cards, but not AMD at all. It was so bad with AMD that, the mega textures in Rage, they just would not load. So the entire thing was just incredibly fucking blurry.
Oh,
they just wouldn't load. It was just like, nope, we're not gonna load that. Why? Because fuck you, AMD. La la la. And that's kind of always been the problem. But I just don't get it. Why do they always decide to make a poxy fucking MMO? Why?
Look, Square Enix tried it with Final Fantasy XIV. The original release was shit. But you know what? They fucking nailed it with A Realm Reborn.
That's fine, but how much money do you have to hemorrhage in order to get to that point?
It is Square, though. They have money to burn.
I
mean, yeah, but does that not seem like just a bad investment decision for the publishers in general?
No. And here's why. So let's say Square Enix burned, I don't know, 100 million, right? Probably
It'll be a lot more than that.
So, let's say 500 million, $500 million to develop Square Enix. To develop A Realm Reborn, right? With Final Fantasy 14 and A Realm Reborn, right? Both releases. Let's say $500 million. If right now they've got I think it's 2 or 3 million subscribers, each paying $15 a month. Do the fucking math. The money you hemorrhage doesn't matter.
No, but then do the math and think about server upkeep. Think about all the staff they have to employ, all the content they have to keep releasing, all the studios they have to keep working on this content.
$15 a month times 2 million people.
Jerry, we don't have to go to bake just yet.
I was about to say we are, but
exactly in a minute.
Yeah.
So even at 1 million subscribers at $15 a month, that's what?
They still make
a month.
How much do they make a month, did you say?
At 1 million subscribers at $15 a pop, right? Is what?
15 million.
15 million. 15 million. A month.
Yeah, but the thing is you have to bring in all the other costs. Think about how much it would cost to run an MMO server. Now imagine doing 100.
Cost 15 million.
No, you're not. You're looking at just one thing though. You're looking at a very narrow field. Now think of all the staff employed to make sure the server's running smoothly.
Let's say their cost for operating Final Fantasy A Realm Reborn. Let's just say it's 5 million. Right? It's probably not even that, but let's say their operating cost is 5 million.
Yeah.
They're still bringing in 10 million a month. 120 million a year. To get your money back, you're talking 4 years to recoup your investment.
But that's implying that you're going to keep 1 million to 2 million players for 4 years, which rarely happens.
Well, you will in Japan.
You will in Japan.
You will in Japan. You will in Korea.
Final Fantasy 11 is pretty stable at about 200,000 subscribers, each paying $15 a month.
Famitsu nearly gave Realm Reborn a perfect score, 39 out of 40. So that just shows, and that's how much.
It's fucking amazing. It's daunting. There is so much to do, but because there's so much to do, it is fucking amazing. Some people don't like it because the combat's slower. It feels like a little bit like Final Fantasy 11 combat, right? It's like it's almost twice as long of a global cooldown as WoW.
Yeah,
but it's it's really fucking amazing.
Does it do the gambit system like they had in Final Fantasy 12, or is that gone?
So
no, why would it's an online game? Why would you do a gambit system? You're playing with other.
Okay, this is the statistics at the moment. The PS3 version of Realm Reborn was placed second in Japan's sales charts with 184,000 physical copies sold, and this is Japan, just Japan. By the following day, after the promised maintenance period, the game reached a record of 325,000 concurrent connections, with an estimate of roughly 7,000 per server. Fuck me. All at what? So $15, however much that is in yen. That's just Japan. Fuck.
And that's only the PS3. There's also PS4 and PC.
On April 16th, 2014, Square Enix basically announced that more than 2 million people have registered an account for the game. Whew.
How many?
2 million, but I'm not sure whether that was in Japan or alone or elsewhere.
That's probably worldwide, and that's really good for an MMO. People look at it and go, WoW is 7 million. WoW is 10 million. Nobody's ever going to be fucking WoW, so...
It rose by 500k registration in 6 months, heralded as one of the most sort of popular. So
that's really cool.
The risk is worth it. The thing is, it's one of those risk versus reward, right? And yes, the risk is worth it if you honestly believe in what you have, right?
Sure, but the thing is, it's essentially a crapshoot, isn't it? It's essentially rolling the dice and going, I really hope this investment works out. And the thing
Final
is, majority
don't. Final Fantasy is a different kettle of fish, though, because you've got a very dedicated core fan base in Japan, and the Japanese market alone would be enough for them to put out the game in the first place.
Yeah, no, but I get with Japan, but in the Western world, it is a bit of a crapshoot. Look at how many failed MMOs that there have been over the years. We had Warhammer Online, which I thought was pretty interesting, but it wasn't great. That
Again, but that's a niche thing though. They've got to think that, as we said, Final Fantasy again could cater for itself just on the Japanese market. It's a Japanese game.
Yeah, sure, but that's the thing. In terms of Western MMOs, look, we've got things like Star Wars, one of the biggest, most recognised brands in all of fucking, most of the civilized world. Everyone recognises the Star Wars logo.
But Star Wars had a lot of problems. Star Wars had a lot of problems.
So did Final Fantasy when it was originally released. A lot of MMOs have a lot of problems when it's originally released. It's very hard to kind of make a game when you don't actually have about 2 million or however many people playing it. You're not going to catch everything.
No, I know, but if you do, then you do, and that's what you do. That is the risk versus the reward, as Coda said. I'm not getting the argument, because your original sort of argument was that if they're, why do big companies do this? Because they could potentially make mega bucks if they do it well, if they can pull it off.
Where Pigeon's right, Serbs, is new studios trying to do an MMO is maybe too much of a risk.
Yeah.
Square Enix can do it. Blizzard can do it.
These guys had a pedigree in WildStar in the fact that they were involved with some of the biggest MMOs, one of the biggest MMOs, sorry, and a whole host of decent single-player games, by the sounds of it as well.
That's true. They did have a pedigree.
So what they did was they just ended up putting a generic. Maybe that was because the studio that bought them out put pressure on them to finally fucking release a game, because they had looked like they've been fannying around in limbo.
I mean, and then you have a studio like Red 5, who, for you guys who don't know what Red 5 is, Red 5, Code knows, Red 5 made the game Firefall. And that was their first project out of the gate. And the funny thing is, in the closed beta, it was pretty well designed, it was pretty competently engineered, but then it encountered its own problems. The CEO got basically shit-canned by the company, because the investors said, "What the fuck are you doing?" And they had to change up the entire gameplay up until release. And funnily enough, that's running better than WildStar is.
And here's a good example of this is how many MMOs have died and hemorrhaged money that in the Western markets. We've got Age of Conan. Everyone remembers Age of Conan, right?
Yeah.
It was a good game, believe it or not.
It was okay.
Unchained, I think they called the free version, was
sure. Good. It was the combat that was supposed to be it was like Combat Revolution, and it was a nice step in the direction, but at the end of the day, it wasn't that action-packed, a little more tedious to play in positioning than most other MMOs. It's a bit annoying. And then you've got Star Trek Online, which fucking sucked major ass. And then you've got Star Wars: The Old Republic. That's a game that they spent, like $300 million on, or something ridiculous?
Yeah, but it was a good game. It really is.
It hemorrhaged money like an absolute motherfucker.
But that doesn't mean that you need to stop trying. They had a franchise there, because otherwise we're not gonna, we're just gonna stagnate, and we'll have a, fucking World of Warcraft till the end of days.
I don't think you will. Blizzard retires their games when they think they're good and ready. I think they will be preparing to retire WoW relatively soon. They know it's dying off.
That engine is
what's
just not
relatively soon, though?
For them, in the next 10 years, you have to remember that isn't that long in MMO time. In MMO time, EverQuest 2 is still fucking around.
EverQuest is still
around.
Yeah, but then you've got the unpaid, generally what happens with the game is then it moves to the free-to-play market.
Yeah.
That's what happens these days. So you can't really say, some will have it goes for as long as people's playing, generally. That's
but
usually...
the problem is that nowadays, there's so many good MMOs that are quite similar to each other, but still have quite devoted fan bases. That is,
but you just said there were so many shit MMOs.
No, there's so many. Look, you've got World of Warcraft, you've got WildStar, which is pretty okay and is better, I guess, if you prefer the hardcore raiding. You've got what is it? Star Wars is okay as a single player game, I guess. What else is there? I'm just trying to think. There are quite a few decent MMOs But the problem is that the vast majority of them, they end up coming out, die on their ass. Yeah, you've got Warhammer Online, Tabula Rasa, Sharon's Pool, Horizons, Shadowbane, Vanguard. Do you remember half of these?
Oh my god, Vanguard was amazing. Fuck all that. Vanguard was an amazing MMO.
Yeah, but the problem is the company itself wasn't making enough money off the MMO to sustain itself.
Well, yes.
Which is the
that is
difficulty.
true.
Which is the difficulty of the free-to-play model. It's just, the free-to-play model, you release the game for free. Well, there goes most of your money, and you hope you make it back in microtransactions, which, I don't think that we can. I don't think that some companies will yet.
The problem with Vanguard was that it was pretty good until you got to late game, and then it was just skeletal. If you explore the game's mid to later content, there was a lot of skeletal zones. The structures were there, but they weren't exactly populated with quests. Sometimes even lacking NPCs altogether. It should be expected, especially considering that the game was clearly rushed out the door. But there was really no way for what was that company? Was it Sigil? I think
was it?
I couldn't
to ever finish what they started. They set themselves up for failure early on when they decided the scope for this game was that vast, with the star as small as Sigil was. They just bit off way more than they could chew, And I feel sorry for people like that, but that's why I don't get why a lot of companies decide that it's a good move. You have to have so much backing and so much cred behind you to get to that kind of point, But anyway,
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So, you guys ready for a break?
Yep.
Bring up more fun MMOS topics and whatnot when we get back.
Sure.
We just got an answer, by the way, from our guest. She is not going to be available tonight. She had a gas leak at her house. So she'll be coming on another time, not tonight. But we'll be back in a moment just to discuss a little bit more and just talk more games. So stick with us here.
We're heading out. All aircraft report. This is Peppy. All systems go.
Flippy here. I'm okay.
Falco here. I'm fine. Careful, it's a trap! Can anyone take care of it? Can't let you do that, Starboy. Here they
It's just me.
Oh, it is? Oh,
Yeah.
God, it's just us.
And you.
Fuck. Let me see if I can add code back to the call.
No, Code, I think he is back. I'm not sure. They said something about tea pissing and
Yeah,
all
I
sorts of
caught
stuff.
the tea
Pissing
thing.
in tea.
Yeah, piss tea,
Yeah.
piss babies, whatnot. Hashtag not your shield.
Mm.
God. So,
Actually, we're doing so well, and that was our first reference there to that.
hey, you know what? It's still a funny reference.
No, I guess.
It won't be in 6 months like every other reference is.
Hopefully not.
Like that time I got twerked on by Miley Cyrus.
Oh, God.
God. And now here's the cutaway joke.
Are we back on air?
Yeah, we're back on air, Code.
Hello, hello.
Yes, Code, we're back on air.
Had to use the potty.
Oh, yeah. I had to get a beer. Tonight was too good. Tonight was going so well. Now I'm going to start my evening off with a Blue Moon Mountain Abbey ale.
You're a loser.
Hey, you know what?
No, he's a hipster.
That fucking
He's a
fucking Highland Gaelic I had was delicious. Fuck you.
He's a massive hipster.
I like the taste of Blue Moon. What can I say?
Blue.
Blue Moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Fucking Boomhauer.
You should do the advertising for it.
Oh God.
Shill it out. That could be our new sponsor.
You know what? You know what the funny? Do you really want to be sponsored by a company in Portland? Actually, that'd be kind of awesome. Blue Moon's delicious.
Which Portland?
Oregon.
We established this last time.
Oregon,
Okay.
the hipster capital, Oregon.
So, I am gonna play some video games while we talk.
Nice.
What do you think I've been doing for the last few hours?
What do you do every time we stream? You're sitting there playing fucking Titanfall.
Yeah, pretty much.
What am I gonna play?
Oh,
Big floppy donkey dick.com.
I currently have A Realm Reborn, Child of Light, Divinity Original Sin, King's Bounty, Cross Worlds, Torchlight 2.
you should go to wowomg.com. I heard they're previewing an MMO there.
WoW OMG.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an MMO, but I'm so going there. Resolving Host. It did not find it.
Ah, shit, they took that one down too. Fuck. Because
What do I want to play?
Blue Moon is good with a little bit of orange. Actually, the wowomg.com was the site for Meat Spin for a while.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Fucking
Ooh,
Meat
since
Spin.
when do I have Clash of Heroes? I was unaware.
The Dungeon of Tentacle Monster Rape. Oh, God. Blue Moon is delicious. Like I said, you need the orange, though, and this is not their typical stuff. This is their seasonal stuff. I think it's alright.
Ryu Girl? That's a fucking lie.
There are no girls on the internet.
There
we
are
know
there are no girls on the internet.
that. What's the
Nope.
4chan litmus test TOGTFO?
There are no girls on the internet.
Never have been, never will be. They are all fat Germans.
Yes!
Or actual grills. Like, they send you a picture, they just send you a picture of a George Foreman grill.
I will admit, they are beasts, those George Foremans.
Those things can take the most punishment I have ever seen. Not clean them for 6 months. Fuck it. They'll still work.
I've seen a mate actually try and pry his apart from the amount of grease that had been left there over 12 months.
Wait, I just got back. Grease? What?
We're talking about
George Foreman.
Yeah,
What are we talking about, George Foreman?
George Foreman grills.
Oh.
The fact that they become Petri dishes, basically, for the most weirdest of experiments.
He made so much fucking money off of putting his name on that.
He made more money off that
but
than
he did
off.
put his name on it.
Yeah,
They were so good. He did put his name on it.
he made more money off of the grill than he ever did boxing.
Well, that's the funny thing. Most fighters have that thing.
And funnily enough, he got more brain damage from the grills than he did boxing too. I'm just kidding.
Did someone assault him with a grill then?
Do you know why it's called being punch drunk?
Yeah, because sometimes the punch can actually physically daze you.
Like it can give you just proper brain damage, but the thing is that when boxers are punch drunk, they struggle a bit more to kind of what's the words? Like kind of enunciate words.
Oh, okay.
Like how to pronounce words and things.
They hit the right nerves, and it just causes them to slur.
No, and but they can speak normally, but they have to really concentrate on it a lot of the time.
Right.
But if you get them then drunk, they're just a fucking mess. If you actually just get them shit-faced on top of being punch drunk, they are fucked. Like, you are not understanding a word that comes out of their mouth.
Is it bad that I want to see Mike Tyson now punch drunk and drunk all at once?
He probably is punch drunk.
That dude's drunk all the time. I mean, his fucking mansion got repossessed, and he's raising pigeons now. What the fuck is he doing? That's where Pigeon actually came from. Pigeon is one of Mike Tyson's pigeons.
It is true. I am one of Mike Tyson's pigeons. I was one of his genetic experiments.
That does explain a lot.
Yeah, this isn't actually my face. This is all an elaborate ruse.
Yeah, Mike Tyson actually writes poetry about him. I'm not making that up. He writes poetry, and he sometimes writes about his fucking pigeons.
Am I the only person who thinks that with the entire Mike Tyson thing that he didn't rape that woman at all?
I don't even know.
Because, there was a big allegation about it, right? Here's the thing. I've never heard of someone getting raped being given forced oral sex. I'm gonna lick your pussy, bitch, and you're gonna like
it. Forced oral sex, I think that is... Because you always hear it from the other way around. You always hear it that he forced her to blow her, hence the cite facial abuse, but...
No, he ate her out, and she's now, like, she was, they're kind of fucking claiming that he, she is claiming that he raped her, and which I think is bullshit, because I'm sorry, here's the thing, if you raped someone, and you go on news, you're like, I did not rape that person, I don't even know them. Mike Tyson went on news and went, I didn't rape the bitch. I didn't rape her. That's the sound of somebody who's frustrated. Yeah. So, like, I fucked her, I didn't rape her, there was no fucking rape involved. You know, it was consensual, I fucked her, I left her. You don't say, I didn't rape the bitch. If you're actually a rapist, you know, you say, I don't know who that is.
Well, I mean, add brain damage to that equation.
I don't think he was. According to one of the people in chat, apparently Mike Tyson isn't punch drunk, and he never actually got punched that much.
Yeah, he wasn't famous for getting knocked out. He was famous for very, very quick knockouts, because it was just like a 1-2, and then it was lights out for his opponent.
That's how most UFC fights with heavyweight divisions are as well. The problem is that you'd think, on the surface of it, that a heavyweight championship fight is going to be really interesting and awesome, as it's going to be like the most strong men versus the strongest men in the fucking world. In reality, it's literally just a throw of the dice to see who knocks each other out the first, because both people have such huge amounts of muscle mass that if one of those shots connects with your head, you're out.
Oh yeah.
You know? You can't make your skull thicker, unfortunately.
I don't know anything about UFC. I don't watch that shit.
I love UFC. I really love UFC. Why don't you like UFC? Just not your kind of thing, or do you have anything against it?
No, just not my thing.
Ah, that's fair enough. I love UFC.
I like my baseball.
That's the thing. I'm not into any other sports, just UFC. Cage fighting for me is where it's at. I want to see people beat each other to absolute shit.
Did you ever watch the Pride Fighting Championships?
I've seen a few of them, but not loads.
Are they as brutal as UFC or less brutal?
They're about the same. The thing is that in Pride, they have better gloves.
Okay.
Pride has the superior gloves. Like, they've got these really good curved gloves, and a lot of fighters agree, even UFC fighters say that the gloves in Pride are better. Because the thing is that you're still doing damage, but one of the big things is that you still have a lot of movement with your wrists and things, which is kind of the problem with UFC gloves. Your wrists are less flexible. And I think they're pretty much as brutal. I think they're pretty much there.
Have you ever heard the fact that, I say the fact, or the rumor rather, that boxing gloves actually cause more brain damage in boxing than if they had ungloved fists?
It's bullshit.
Why do you say that?
I'm pretty sure this was tested and it was just bullshit.
Because I thought it was that with gloves on, it's like the safety measure thing. You have a safety measure on, you think, oh, it's going to be safer, so you actually hit harder, whereas without the gloves, you're intending to hit, with a less impact because you're, basically your hand's at stake. If you punch someone in the head, you're probably going to break your hand.
It doesn't, it's literally just, it isn't any different.
Okay.
It's, okay, let's have a look. Here's a forum post. Do boxing gloves cause more brain damage than bare knuckles? You damage your face if you... What is it? I'm just trying to find this. No, it's pretty much the same.
Okay.
But the thing is that it's one of those... what's the word? It's more to protect your hands.
Yeah,
than
the
it
other
is
person.
to protect someone else's head.
Yeah. So you hit harder, but the impact is deadened a little bit.
It's slightly cushioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
And UFC, I know, I don't. The one thing I don't know much about boxing. That's my problem. My granddad used to watch boxing, but he's been dead for years, so I haven't watched much boxing. But the thing is that with UFC, there isn't as many knockouts as a lot of people think. The thing is, there's a lot of TKOs, a lot of technical knockouts where you don't necessarily fully knock someone out, but it's concerning enough to the referee to stop the fight before anything really serious happens.
Yep.
Like if someone just gets knocked completely off guard on the floor and the other person is about to literally just lay into their head, which is now completely exposed because they just got dazed rather than completely knocked out, they'll stop the fight.
Yeah, I want to say that boxing has more TK. I think it has more knockouts, but the duration, number of rounds, is much, much longer. Because a boxing match will go 15 rounds on average.
How long are the rounds in boxing?
I don't know. Let me actually look it up.
Because in UFC they're quite short. The matches there. If you're sorry,
I think they're pretty similar. Professional boxing. The professional bouts are usually much longer than amateur bouts, typically ranging from about 10 to 12 rounds, though 4-round fights are common for less experienced fighters or club fighters. There are also some 2- and 3-round professional bouts, especially in Australia. Let's see. Amateur boxing, 1 to 3 minute intervals in amateur.
Oh, okay. But in UFC, it's 5-minute rounds, and it's 3 5-minute rounds if you're not on the main card, I believe. And if you're on the main card, it's 5 5-minute rounds. But most fights don't go the full length, and because usually one person has better conditioning than the other, and with the longer, with more rounds, it becomes more apparent, and they leave themselves open to more knockouts and submissions and all that. And I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
That's another thing, by the way. I love Ronda Rousey. Google Ronda Rousey, Jerry.
What's that? How do you spell that?
Just type it how you'd expect it, and you'll find it. Ronda Rousey is the female. I forgot what weight range. I really should though.
There it is.
I forgot what type.
MMA fighter, yeah.
Yeah. What belt does she have? Is it featherweight? Is it?
Let's see. UFC. She was the first female fighter to sign with it in 2012. She would defend the UFC Women's Bantamweight Championship.
It's bantamweight.
Yeah.
Alright, the thing is that her fights, I stay up so late to watch UFC sometimes, live, and her fights are so anticlimactic because she's just so far ahead of most of her competition. I stayed up to watch one of her fights, and it was over in the first 12 seconds.
Jesus Christ.
She knocked out her opponent so quickly, it was in a GIF.
God
she literally,
almighty.
judo hip throws her over her. and like lands on her and just beats her in the head until she's completely out. And when the referee's getting the girl back up, she's fighting the ref like because she isn't quite sure about what's going on. She's still in fight mode.
Well, coming from the chat as well, here's a little bit more info on boxing. A boxing match is likely to have 5 to 7 times as many punches thrown and connected so many more impacts to the head. Boxers tend to fight more often than MMA fighters do or used to.
Yeah, I could definitely believe that. Boxing's a very cool sport. But for me, UFC's a bit more interesting because it's more of an all-around sport. You know, like there's very little that is outlawed in UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, it feels almost like, all right, which is the actual best martial art? What is the most applicable in an actual fight?
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
It turns out Jiu-Jitsu is really fucking good, and so is Judo.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Karate, not so much. Still helps. Taekwondo is still pretty good because it usually means that you're a good kicker. And also with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like that's the thing with dojos. Are you aware of that term?
I think so.
Like it happens in the UK all the time and the US, where there's all these martial arts clubs where you can become a black belt in like 2 years.
Oh god, I've heard of those. Yeah.
Because the thing is like you just pay for like the tests, the gradings, or whatever they're called. Sorry.
Ronda has won 8 out of 10 fights by armbar.
Yep, and she broke one of her. I remember one of her biggest fights. She broke her opponent's arm so stupendously. It was like her opponent refused to tap out, and that's what she's known for, the armbar, for obvious reasons. And she refused to tap out. And the thing is most fighters will tap out when just before they know that whatever ligament has been caught is going to fucking break.
And they just missed it.
And she just didn't tap out. She was hoping to get out of it, and her arm just bends back like a bendy straw. And Ronda keeps pulling it back, and the ref and the doctor were like, no, it's over, you've won, stop breaking her arm horrifically.
You gotta tap out.
Yeah.
And then Edwin in the chat says, BJ Penn has his main gym in the town he lives in.
Oh, really? Oh, that's really cool. But yeah, I love UFC. I think it's a very interesting sport. It's very bloody as well. Like it sounds really bloodthirsty, but humans have enjoyed bloodthirsty sports since the fucking dawn of man. I mean, we love the shit out of gladiators.
Why do I keep flashing back in this to the Simpsons episode of Homer when he becomes the boxer?
Yeah,
and it's just like Moe gives him the boxing gloves. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's the stinger." They don't let you use that no more. It's just a fucking piece of barbed wire.
Yeah. I wish I would actually be really open to like proper killing fucking sports. Like
have you ever heard of George Carlin's ideal like TV show?
What's that?
It's you take all the mental patients in America and you box them in a bunch of like useless states like in the Four Corners, like Utah and Colorado and Wyoming and all those right in that area. You fence those states off and then you put up cameras and you just watch the mental patients and criminals go at it.
Yeah, no, what I'd want to see is something quite similar to that. I want a Running Man type show where you just get the worst of the worst criminals. It's beyond doubt that these people have committed their fucking crimes and that they're awful human beings, like child rapists and mass murderers. And you just put them in a maze, and then you just get like licensed executioners to kind of hunt them down. And if they do survive, they get to go free. But nobody survives because they have high-powered rifles and like machetes and shit, whereas they have nothing. I'd love that. I think that'd be great. And the best thing is that everybody would watch it. You know, everyone would. Everyone would be like, "This is awful." I can't miss it though. I should endorse this, but it's so cool.
Best reality show ever.
Yeah, like I know. Imagine if in the UFC you're allowed to throw weapons into the ring. Like in a Ronda Rousey fight, someone throws in a fucking like a baseball bat with some barbed wire around it. She just kills people.
Fucking Miami Hotline Miami UFC edition. Actually, I would fucking pay to see that.
I would, but yeah, no. Riot Girl in chat said, we love blood, that's why violent video games will never go away. Yeah, it's a way of simulating that kind of thing without actually having the worry of, actual death. It's, and the thing is that I don't think it is at all connected to increased violence in real life.
If you actually look at it, because of the violent stuff, ways of acting out violence without it actually hurting other people, violence has gone down.
Exactly. Like, it's actually shown that since, like, the rise of video games, that violence in general among kids has gone down, like, subsequently. Mainly because they're inside playing Call of Duty all day and not outside, like, getting into gangs and shit where you are actually going to kill people. And I like what Jaqueem said in the chat. Wait, imagine if we just put these huge sacks of shit in Australia.
Yeah, the English tried that.
We tried that. Sorry, sorry, abos. We may have killed all of you.
Well, the emus won.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking emus.
Oh!
Imagine this. If in the middle of a UFC fight, a fucking emu ran in the middle of the ring.
That would be great.
Yeah,
they should just let wild animals in the middle. There may be a king cobra or something, and the fucking...
You gotta dodge a cobra.
And whilst fighting someone, and maybe you could pick up the cobra by like the neck if you're feeling ballsy and try to get it to bite the other fucker. Great.
Have you ever seen the guy actually slap the cobra?
Sorry?
There's a vine of some dude just like he's in the pit with a bunch of snakes and
it's a full video. It's a cleaner in like a snake den and he's just cleaning around it, and every time one of them gets pissed off he just slaps it. He's just like, fuck you. And then the snake's like, oh shit. Like, it goes away. I think the reason...
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
A video where a cleaner in India, I believe it is, like, he goes into like a snake bit and he's cleaning out all the shit in it. And every time, like, a cobra, like, a proper king cobra's, like, sizing up to him, he just slaps it.
Just right in the middle of the head, just BAM!
I'd imagine that they're defanged or something, at the very least. But it's still ballsy as shit. I wouldn't want to do that. And also, Edwin said in chat, Poland has these crazy team fighting competitions now. They are amazing, by the way. It's literally like 5v5 UFC fights. But what essentially happens, right, is everyone charges at each other. And the team that wins is the team that knocks one of the other guys out first, because then you've just got the fucking advantage when it's 2v1 and then 2v1 and then you've got 3v2 and then you've just got, it just goes in that direction.
And then they have to destroy the control node and then the super minions spawn and...
Oh, that would be funny.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it is essentially like Bat Snake.
Oh god, just Bat Snake! Bap!
Or if you're feeling really ballsy, maybe you could get the snake and use it like a fucking, like a garrote wire and just like strangle the other person with the snake.
Oh god.
Just like choke them to death.
Have you ever seen, I don't know if you've ever been to Thailand or seen this. Do you know they actually have cobra mongoose fights in Thailand?
No.
Yeah, they actually release into a pit a cobra and a mongoose. One of the most deadly snakes versus its natural predator. And they just see who wins. And then they put the mongoose up and they put the snake back up.
That's amazing. But, oh yeah, I think that's enough, like, general...
Is the stream
people are saying the stream... It looks like it's hiccuping.
They're not receiving data at a fast enough rate. Your viewers may experience buffering. Ensure your connection is fast enough to consider using a lower bit rate. It's a YouTube end problem.
All right.
Let's see.
Yeah, I've just typed in the chat soon.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, on other issues, I found some hilarious posts from fucking Tumblr recently.
Here's the thing. At 10 o'clock, we had buffer issues, and at 10:03, it was fine again.
Alright. Alright, so here's where are those funny things I found. You'll like these, Code. Code?
You think I will? I'm here. I'm not Kill.
Yeah, you better not be Kill, you fucking slut. Okay, so there was an article published by The Guardian. Tolkien's myths are a political fantasy. In a world built on myth, we can't ignore the reactionary politics at the heart of Tolkien's Middle-earth. And someone posted this on Facebook saying, funny how 99% of the characters who get to do anything in the series are white and male. Huh.
What?
And it's like, do you know where Tolkien grew up? Do you know how many white people were there? It was a lot more than fucking black people. I'm sorry. You know, you can't. It's like you can levy these criticisms at every fucking writer.
But they were like elves, and
they are supposed to be of different races. They are, but
elves and dwarves and hobbits. I mean, so
yeah, no, but you can say that. But elves are probably more stereotypically supposed to be Irish. Then you've got the dwarves are more Scottish. And then you've got...
supposed to be versus are. That's different things.
No, like, if you look at where all the lore for them originated from, you'll kind of find out. And, but Tolkien essentially was just an amalgamation of different, like, folklore put into one book. But, you could levy this fucking criticism against anybody.
Yeah,
you could levy this criticism even against, who is it called? Sorry.
Mike.
You can levy...
Spike Lee.
Oh, no, yeah, I hate white people, Lee. No, you could levy this criticism against Lovecraft, Guy Cthulhu, those. He was incredibly racist, but he was no more racist for people of his time. There's a difference. You can't just say, this person's bad, he was racist. Everyone was fucking racist back in those days. It is hilarious, though. If you read his short stories and things, he often has his cat as one of the characters in them. And do you know what his cat's name was?
What's that?
Nigger.
Nigger Man. It was Nigger Man. And he wasn't... I doubt he really hated black people, but, you know, that was a cultural, societal thing of the time.
I mean, it was even like in Mark Twain. What's one of the characters' names? It's Nigger Jim.
On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a lagging campfire stream. But, yeah. What was it? Yeah,
should get served to recite us Kipling.
Yeah.
I think serves his kill.
Yeah. He is kill. He left a little while ago because he's a faggot. And, there was another thing I found. Oh, yeah, here's another thing. For anyone who's listening, I am a huge fucking anti-advocate for fat acceptance. I found this and this pissed me off. Thin shaming is the same as fat oppression. I modded a subreddit called Our Body Acceptance. 99.9% of the comments and posts that have to be deleted by the mods that are fat hate posts. If a post on our sub gets linked to another sub, it's a fat hate sub that wants to troll us or just be nasty to fat people. Yet we constantly see thin people on the sub complaining about thin shaming is just as bad as fat shaming / oppression. Thin privilege is being able to claim oppression without any of the actual consequences of being oppressed.
So, sort of like third wave feminism?
Well, no. Like, the thing is, I fucking hate this entire thing of fat people being oppressed. You're not being oppressed. You're not. You are
choosing to eat.
You are choosing a lot. Not everyone. There are a few fat people that can't control their weight. They do have genuine medical issues that may, but they're very few and far between.
And but usually the people that genuinely know they have the medical issues, they compensate for it. Well, they usually have like a 10-pound weight gain.
Yeah, exactly. And then you've got things like this, like fat oppression, thin privilege is being able to sit in one airplane seat. No, it isn't. It's having an arse that isn't so fat that you take up two fucking normal people's arses. Fuck you. Like, if you don't... Could you imagine the level of shame that would be brought onto you if you tried to sit in, I don't know, like a seat in the doctor's waiting room and you couldn't fit in the seat? Could you imagine how you'd feel? That would make you go, oh, shit. This is meant for normal people. I'm not normal anymore. I need to do something about this. This is serious. But for some reason, you're not allowed to say that. They're not like it has to be. Oh no, we have to accommodate for everybody. No,
we have to change the seat size on airplanes because that's the average body. That's not, that doesn't fit us. Well, no, fuck you. That fits the average body type. They need to be increased a couple of inches because it's, the average body type has grown a little bit, but not much.
Yeah, exactly. And even if they don't want to increase it, I get it. Airplanes are very hard to make money off of. Richard Branson, the owner of Virgin and Virgin Airways and that, he says the quickest way to become a millionaire is be a billionaire and buy an airway, buy a flight company. Says that the quickest way to become a millionaire is to be a billionaire and buy one. And it's true, like, you don't make a lot of money from it. And the other thing is that if we're being accepting to fat people and we can accommodate for everyone's needs, do you know what we need? We need in seats, like doctor seats, they should be bigger, right? Big enough for real fat asses. But what I also want in there is a fucking ashtray. I want an ashtray because it's not my fault I'm addicted to nicotine.
Yeah.
I was forced into this. It's a condition that I have. You don't know how hard it is. It's the complete same shit. I had someone not too long ago, a fat person, lecture me on smoking. I couldn't believe it. And I essentially said to them, like, seriously, why can't you just fucking, like, accept that people will do their own thing? Some people are gonna make mistakes that fuck up their lives. And guess what? Because, this bitch was, like, £280, right? Mm-hmm. Probably, like, near 300. And firstly, I remember, she, got pissy at me because when we went to go get kebabs, I got, just doner meat. Just doner meat. I was like, yeah, I just want doner meat. Fuck that, I just want doner meat. Yeah. And she was like, oh, eating like a student? I see. And then whereas, like, she's getting doner meat with a large portion of chips and a pita bread and slathering it in I think it was tomato ketchup. And you're just like, are you fucking serious? Are you being real right now? And the other thing is just, I fucking hated it. Like, firstly, she was eating, like, double the amount of calories I was eating anyway. And secondly, she had the nerve to sit there and say, if you knew how bad smoking was for you, you'd give up right now. I've been to hospitals and I've seen a smoker's lungs. I know the fucking risks of smoking. I know it will probably be one of the leading contributions to my death someday if I do continue to smoke. That's my choice. It's my decision. It's my mistake to make. You can't take that away from me. Just like someone shouldn't be able to take away from you being fat. It's not that we shouldn't shame anybody for their life decisions, no matter how little we agree with it. Like when I see an incredibly fat person, I feel sorry for them. I'm sure people see me smoking, they feel sorry for me. It's fine. Yeah. I'd rather be a smoker than a fat person, personally. Do you like? What do you think? Sorry?
Are you shaming fat people?
What do you mean?
What is Donna, by the way?
Fat shame.
It's like let me Google. I know, I'll have to Google it. It's like mystery meat for the most part. It's delicious, but it's really oily, greasy rather. What is doner meat? Doner meat. Meat cooked on a vertical rotisserie, normally lamb, but also a mixture of veal or beef, and sometimes chicken. But yeah, I am shaming fat people a bit. But
I love it then.
Huh?
I love it. If you choose to, if so, I'm going to say this, and I will preface it by saying, if you have a medical condition like a thyroid thing or whatever, and you can't physically control your weight, I'm not talking about you. But if you choose to be fucking fat, nobody's got to widen the seat for you. If it's your fucking choice to say, I'm already 280 pounds, or let's just even say I'm already 240 pounds, but I don't know, I really like McDonald's, so I'm just not going to give it up. Well, then you know what? That's your fucking choice.
Exactly, and it's like I'm like, here's the thing, I don't like it when I was fat for a long time as well, and I still said this, and like it was annoying because people come to bat for you, and they just assume that you're going to take their side. Like I remember once, a girl in my class said, really hot girl said, "Oh, I'm scared of fat people. It's just weird to me. Like I'm actually just a bit scared of fat people." And this other girl was like, "You can't say that. That's horrible." And I was like, "It's not horrible." And they were like, "Well, no, because some people can't control their weight, and everybody's beautiful." And I was like, "No, not everybody's beautiful. The fatter you are, the less attractive you are, because the less like fucking healthy you will look as a mate." You know?
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like at this point, it almost becomes like biological when you start talking about like that attraction, right? Like,
and let's just face
also,
if you look at really fat people and really thin people, you have the problem here of biologically you're not attracted to those two. Typically, I say, because they don't look healthy.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's mainly psychological both ways and partially genetic. The thing is that thin people are going to be, have far more luck with finding people interested in them. Because you can be a bit skinny, like a bit on the skinny side, but in general, that's a really good look when the older you get.
Oh,
if you're kind of a bit overweight and you get old, it fucking falls apart. Those big tits you have are on your knees.
Or at your feet for some women. But yeah, being fat is a choice for most people. That's the funny thing. The fat acceptance movement says that it is not.
I've seen things like it's been proven that watching calories means that you can't lose weight by calorie counting. All these diets don't work. Here's the thing, right?
Don't eat McFucking-Donald's. There you go. Problem solved.
And here's the thing: you can fucking do. Like the problem is that we're living in a modern day and age where a lot of these issues, it's like people don't understand that things like fast food are supposed to be a sometimes meal. Like once in a while, not every fucking day.
That's why my weight's gone up. I'm at 218 right now, and I used to be down at 205, but when I'm at uni, I grab food out of convenience because it is far easier for me to go to Chick-fil-A and grab a sandwich and some waffle fries and go eat that than come home and fix a keto-friendly meal, which I do keto, and it fucking worked.
Sorry, Code, just 2 secs. Like, here's an example, and I know you lost a lot of weight as well, Code, didn't you?
I've always weighed 150. I got myself up to about 205 to 210, and I'm back down to 150.
Nice, man.
You want to know how I did it? You want to know how I fucking did it? What? I don't drink soda anymore. I maybe have soda a week.
That fucking works, by the way.
We used to eat Burger King maybe once or twice a week. Now we do that like once a month, and that's it. I don't fucking count calories. I don't work out. I fucking sit behind a computer all goddamn day. That is what I do. But you don't have to count calories. You don't have to fucking diet. You don't have to. Don't stop drinking fucking 14 Dr. fucking Peppers a day. You know what I mean? Like
it's so obvious. But
even switching to diet helps.
Oh, like here's the thing. With me right now. Because the thing is that I generally eat the same foods every day, so I kind of get a bit bored. The thing is, I love egg and bacon, and I eat literally it's usually both meals. I usually have 2 meals a day.
You know what? That's keto friendly.
I know, it's hilarious. And I also have teas with double cream in it. It's delicious. I have about 4 of those a day, and I'm not hungry aside from that. It's not a diet, it's just what I've kind of gravitated towards, and I'm drinking sugar-free Cherryade. Haven't put on any weight whatsoever. The thing is soda is so fucking fattening, and people don't even realise most of the time. It's a soda, how much can this liquid really be? You look on the side, 200 fucking calories. I'm drinking 6 of these a day. That's 2 meals.
Yeah, and for me, it wasn't even I had to look at the side of the fucking can. It was, soda's bad for me. I won't drink soda. And you know what? I lost 55 pounds.
It's better for your teeth as well.
Yeah, well, I don't have to fucking worry about that.
Oh, yeah. And what is it? Shaquem says, I lost weight by eating half meals and drinking fuck tons of water. Yeah, I weighed, like about a year ago, I think it was about 245 pounds.
Oh, you were a fatty.
I was a fatty. But the thing, like, the funny thing is most people don't even recognise how much weight I lost. Because I just have a really feminine figure. I've got, like, I've got, like, a smaller waist and wider hips. I'd be a great trap if I ever wanted to be. I'd be fucking great. But, yeah, no, I lost, I'm at, like, 170 now. So I lost, like, 8 pounds, I think. And it was so easy. All you have to do is get to a point where you're fucking sick of it. And I just went, right, I'm gonna do keto because I heard that works. And because it's generally all the foods I like anyway, won't be eating pasta, I guess. That's fine. I'll only be able to eat every once in a while. And aside from that, just cut down. Because the thing is with being fat is, there's two ways people get very fat, I feel. It's soda and mindless eating, like grazing, you know? Where there's like these mental loops which I realise I used to go through, where at least personally I find if I eat fatty foods, I feel so full for so long and high in protein. But if I eat something that's high in carbs or sugar, I feel hungry like an hour later. So
I hate that. Like, we eat not to cut you off. Actually, yes, to cut you off. We eat a lot of fucking pasta in this house, right? Like, a lot. My wife loves pasta, makes some of the best meatballs you ever eat. But, like, you'll eat pasta, like, 3 nights a week, and I'll eat, like, a fucking ginormous bowl of pasta, and an hour later, I'm like, why the fuck am I hungry? I just literally ate a pound of pasta. Why am I hungry?
It's because your body just breaks it down so fucking fast. It's like, let's just put that over there. Give us something else. And it's like, you give it the same thing. No, something else. And you just keep eating the same thing. It's like, you fat ass, stop.
Like, fuck it, pasta's amazing.
Oh, it's great, but it's not filling. Like, that's the thing. You'd think it would be if you eat in large doses, like huge doses it is. But
well, I mean, tortellinis can be pretty filling.
Oh, yeah. But, like, that's because what's inside them, isn't it?
Yes.
That's a bit different. But, yeah, no, just like your minerals and Edwin said in chat, I use a program called Chronometer periodically to measure my nutrition beyond just calories, ratios of amino acids, vitamins, minerals, etc. People don't want to admit their complicity in being whatever suboptimal situation they are in. That's exactly it. Because one argument I hate is when people say I'm too poor to eat healthily. Such bollocks.
Mm-hmm.
There is no excuse. If you're living off of £40 a week for food, which is, about $100, or no, like 70, 65-ish maybe.
Yeah.
If you're living for that, go to a whole, like, we've got Lidl's over here. I don't know if that's over there, or there's an equivalent.
We have Aldi. And
like Aldi, things like that. You go there, and you can buy, like, more for less. So you just go there, buy some chicken, buy some cheese, buy some of the, like, just do the basics.
Fucking almonds.
Yeah, almonds. Your vegetables. Vegetables are so fucking cheap, and people don't even seem to realise how useful they are. And it's like, they go, oh, well, if I buy these really expensive berries, I can't eat. I'm not even full after I eat a packet of them, and that costs like the same as a burger. And it's like, yeah, don't be a fucking idiot. That's supposed to be a treat, not a fucking staple of your diet, unless you're a fucking crazy ass vegan. You know, it's dumb. I hate it, and like it probably costs less. I'd be willing to say that it costs less to eat moderately healthy than it does to eat really poorly. There's my housemates. So yeah,
if I were to eat Burger King. What I typically get when we get Burger King is I'll get one of their grilled chicken sandwich meals, right, with French fries.
Sure.
I don't like fried chicken on a sandwich, personally. But that's like $8, right? $8. Yeah, because it's about 16 for my wife and I. That's $40 a week. I can go to Stop and Shop, which is an expensive grocery store, but I can go to fucking Stop and Shop and buy groceries for a week for $40. Even if it's just pasta, chicken, hamburger, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can fucking do it.
Yeah, so it is just fucking excuses. It really is. Like, here's a good example. When I was at university, I had two housemates in my second year. They were both doing their first year, and we all got around the same amount of money. I had a way healthier diet than theirs, and it was really funny. Like, sorry, I just took a drag of my cigarette. What was it? One of my housemates is probably, I'd say, about 17.5 stone, which is...
I'll look it up.
17 times 14 pounds.
17 stone in... that's 245.
Yeah. No, like, so he was about he was about, like, 250-ish. And the thing is he did eat loads, but he ate shit.
Oh, totally.
Shit.
Eating shit will do it.
Like, he would buy, like, the ready-made microwave meals you could get from, like, Asda.
Those are so shamefully, deliciously bad.
Yeah, because I love them as well. But the thing is, it's like, oh, that was so delicious, I'm hungry again.
Yeah.
You know? And you're like, what's the point? Like, if you're spending he'd stockpile them as well. So he'd spend, like, I don't know, £15 a week just on those. And for that amount of money, he could get, like, 2 fucking whole chickens, rice, vegetables, and some other shit. You know, like, it's just so obvious. Yeah. People are like, yeah, but it's more plain. Well, guess what? Life's plain. Fuck you. You're not going to be eating like a king all the time. Don't expect to. Eat healthily. It's not that big of a deal.
The unhealthy food I eat, my guilty pleasure is fucking ramen.
My guilty pleasure is Chick-fil-A. Despite their position on gay people, it's fucking delicious.
I love Tara for that. Tara, the person who says she was a bit drunk and someone was arguing about how Chick-fil-A they should be banned. And Tara is our transsexual, male to female transsexual friend, and she came into the call a bit tipsy, and she just said in her fucking hilarious voice, just went, "I'm a tranny and I fucking love Chick-fil-A."
It is. That is by far, with fast food, I believe you get what you fucking pay for. You're gonna pay about $6 to $8 or $6 to $10 a meal at Chick-fil-A, but for that you get good lettuce, good tomato, good chicken, good burger, good buns.
Yeah, like that's another thing that fat people do. When they go on a diet, they'll get a salad, but they'll lather it in like blue cheese or something. And you're like, you just completely negate the fucking point of the salad. Do you not see that? It's like, yeah, well, I'm still eating vegetables. Yeah, covered in fucking pure fat. Have one or the other. Jesus Christ.
Well, it's like people who go to McDonald's and they're like, I'm on a diet, so I will have a Big Mac and a double cheeseburger, and make sure you give me a Diet Coke.
I love that.
What? I mean, it's one thing if you like the taste of Diet Coke, right? But if you're doing it because you're on a diet, I don't get that.
It is dumb.
Well, now here's the thing. When I did keto, that was my one solace to have something like a Coke Zero, because I liked Coca-Cola way before this, and I started drinking so much Coke Zero mixed with water. Like, I'd have like 8 things. Like, I'd have 8 16-ounce water bottles a day full of just water, and then I'd have a few Coke Zeros in between that. You know what actually happened?
What?
I got sick of the taste of regular Coke.
That's interesting.
Because it was too sweet.
Yeah. I can't really stand proper Coke for that same reason. Unless it's mixed with alcohol, then it's tolerable because you're drunk, and then anything's tolerable. You could eat a dead homeless person that's just been fried, and you'd be like, "This is awesome."
Oh, you ever had a Diet Coke, like a Diet Coke in a whiskey, or a Coke Zero in a whiskey?
It's nice, yeah.
It is amazing.
And it's funny, I generally don't like calorie-heavy alcohol, and that's not because it's calorie-heavy, it's because when I drink, my aim is to get fucked up. I don't drink to enjoy the taste, I drink to get drunk. So when I drink...
Yeah, you just pound.
It's like, oh, you want to get drunk, do you? Oh, let me bring, a 12-pack of Budweisers. I'm like, fuck that, just go buy a bottle of Jack Daniels. It will achieve the exact same thing way quicker, you know? It's so easy, and I like Jack Daniels. There's bear. Although I have to admit, I have a pet peeve when someone's like, I really love rum. Have you tried Captain Morgan Spice Rum? And I just want to punch him in the head.
When Arby's is still shit, Whataburger is fucking delicious. I miss Whataburger so much from when I was living in Texas and Oklahoma. Oh my fucking god.
Checkers is fucking amazing, by the way.
Checkers is pretty good. I've had Checkers before.
Checkers is fucking amazing. I want to hit this guy, though he's like way above my level.
But yeah, I just hate that entire argument. And yeah, like if you're out drinking, like, and I don't get when people say they drink for the taste. I don't understand. Like personally, I just don't get people that drink. I get things like wine a bit more, but it's like, oh, it has a character. Yeah, but it's still a fucking unpleasant character. I don't like unless you're raised from a young age. I don't see how somebody can actively like beers.
I do. It's weird. Like, I know the flavors and the notes of beers that I like. That's why I stick with Blue Moon. That lets me know what I'm getting every time.
Mm.
But that's an oddity of me. I'm a fucking hipster. I mean, I had a Highland Gaelic Ale the other day. It was really good with a fucking pizza.
Yeah, and someone, Edwin said in chat, even that one professor lost weight, improved his cholesterol, eating McDonald's, just making sure it was at a caloric deficit.
Yeah, it's totally possible. If you can eat nothing but McDonald's and still lose weight. You absolutely can. You just gotta know what you're eating.
Exactly, like, you just be careful. It's like when people are like, oh, I'm on a diet, and they go to Subway and order a footlong, and it's like slightly healthier than what they'd have normally, and you're just like, you're eating a foot of fucking bread.
You're eating a foot of bread with mayonnaise and lettuce and tomato and chicken and sweet onion sauce and whatever.
Yeah, don't lie to yourself. Just be honest.
I love some D'Angelo's though.
Yeah,
oh my god.
And yeah, and also with the appetite thing, yeah, I do feel that smoking does decrease your appetite quite.
It is a known appetite suppressant.
Yeah, and it's also like generally smoking's great. That's the thing with drugs in general, because smoking is a drug, same way alcohol is a drug. The thing is like Code. I'm sure you know this problem as well. It's like because you've had a history with addiction, like drug addiction, before, haven't you?
Yes.
Here's the thing: when you're raising your kids, you have to tell them don't do drugs. They'll ruin your life. But in reality, drugs are so fucking good, they'll ruin your life. They're that good.
Yeah.
You know, they're awesome. That's why you'll ruin your life. You don't do drugs and go, oh, this is horrible, and I'm addicted now.
I needed to know this from Jason, that he'd done a Chick-fil-A store opening, and if you were one of the first 100 people to get to stay there from the day before, you get 56 free meals.
That's amazing.
Totally would.
I'd love to eventually go on a Fat Man tour of the US.
Oh,
Sorry?
God. Oh, God.
Like, just going to all of the really fucking, like, kind of places, you know, and just eating all of the shit.
The fried chicken.
Then you gotta come to, New Haven, Connecticut, where we've got the home of the steamed burger.
What's the steamed burger?
They're like a Cleveland steamer.
Hot dog, or a hamburger.
Nice.
It's disgusting. It gives me the shits, and it's so good.
Yeah,
I can't eat it without pissing out my ass.
I hate that. It's like mold. It's the most painful as well. It's like
no, it's not painful. It's just ass piss.
Well, yeah, no, but it gets your arse sore, like because
like
it's
dry.
so much more water. Sorry.
It ends up drying out, right? Because it's just gross.
Yeah, it's not
you get
good.
Swamp ass like to the nth degree.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, maybe you should wipe your ass a little bit better, but you know, that's what happens.
Wait, you wipe?
Seriously, Code has such clean shits he doesn't need to wipe.
No, when Code doesn't have clean shits, he just calls his wife.
Honey!
Yeah, just clean the anus.
Just lick it. Lick my anus.
By the way, I do want to try a bidet because I've never done that before.
I haven't tried one, but I really want one.
Yeah.
Apparently they're fucking awesome.
Vouching from Serbs, he says they're fucking unbelievable. Like, he never wiped while he was in Japan.
Yeah, like, apparently it's one of those things where it feels really weird at first, but the thing is, it's so much healthier for your arsehole in general. Just think about it. Like, you're not like ravaging the soft tissue of your arsehole with fucking paper all the time. You're just gently spraying it with water. Pew, 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 pew. And then it wipes all the shit off.
I do want I would like one of the smart toilets from Japan just because it has the auto bidet.
Oh, that's so cool.
Like the little nozzle comes out and it just sprays in like a slow oscillating motion with warm water.
Not gonna lie though, if that was happening, like I'd probably jerk off a lot more on the toilet.
You don't do that already?
Not really. Not really. But you know, like getting your arse eaten out whilst you share, yeah, it'd be great.
I think the stream has devolved deep enough into what.
Nah, I think it's doing pretty well. What do you think, Ted?
I like it.
I think it's doing pretty well.
I'm liking tonight's. You know, tonight was really good.
Should we keep it going on for a little bit longer, or do you not feel like it, Jay?
I'm good. It's almost 11 o'clock,
really
so
care. I'm just playing Final Fantasy 14, which is why I'm quiet.
Yeah, no, I'm just playing Torchlight at the same time.
And you motherfuckers can play. I have to watch everything.
I'm sorry, we love you.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not sorry.
When I do my Fat Man tour, Jerry will bring you along, and
I can show
you drive?
Yes, I can show you the world in the South when it comes to fat things.
That'll be amazing.
I can take you to a fucking Golden Corral.
Can you do me a favour before we come there? Can you please get a conceal and carry so when we get pulled over, the first thing you say is I have a gun?
No. Funnily enough, those are they're city specific and they're state specific.
What? So you can just carry without one?
Well, no. Funnily enough,
No.
if a cop pulls me over and I have a pistol in the vehicle, they can arrest me.
What?
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't have a carry permit for that county
For
and
that
or
state.
Yep. So it's like a catch-22.
Yeah. You can carry it. You can have it concealed carry in your state for as long as you want to. But once you take it out of state, that falls into that next state's jurisdiction, and there's a whole process. You got to call ahead and tell them, "Hey, I'm coming down here. I've got a concealed carry permit." It's a whole ordeal.
Aww.
So just make sure you come up around the time of the Big E so you can have a hamburger in between 2 fried donuts.
Jesus,
The
town on
fucking
supervisor. That
Luther
sounds
Vandross.
awful. I want it.
It's the Luther Vandross. You've seen it in Boondocks.
Oh yeah. That's it, really?
You know
That's
what?
the thing.
Do you have fried pickles over there in the UK?
No, that sounds awful.
You don't have fried pickles?
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't know what you're missing.
Heart disease.
They're like bread and butter or breaded dill pickles thrown in a fryolator. Oh my god, you don't know what you're missing.
Fried. There's proving once again Americans will fucking deep fry anything. I've had those, and I've had deep fried green beans.
But the Scottish will also deep fry anything. For fuck's sake, I've had deep fried Mars bars.
Okay,
That sounds good.
It is really good and awful.
deep
At the
fried
same
butter.
time.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
I
It's
would
good.
probably vomit.
Because it's if you go out to the Iowa state, because they made a big deal of this during the Iowa caucuses back in 2012 when they were trying to predict who was going to be the next Republican presidential candidate. That was one thing they featured on the news because the state fair was going on at the same time, and someone was legitimately selling deep fried butter on a stick with mayonnaise dipping sauce.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What's wrong with that, guys?
That's coronary heart disease just in a cup, right?
Look good.
I picked poli-sci because I like seeing how humans and government interact.
Somebody's talking to chat. I'm gonna
Yeah.
imagine.
And I kind of like the international relations side, and that's what I'm kind of getting into now. I've got enough of the American side, and I'm kind of dipping my feet into the international side. I want to continue kind of on the international side as I get into higher levels.
Yeah,
but-
that's cool. I've always been interested in... Sorry, yeah?
So in my state, concealed carry is county level only.
So you
once-
can't, not statewide.
Yeah. And Edwin also says you'll find a lot of large mammals at Golden Corral. Yeah, you know why? Because people will go there on like a Sunday afternoon after church. They'll sit there and they'll eat, and they'll bullshit with their friends, and then they'll go back later once they're hungry again. And pay like $20.
I want to go to the Heart Attack Grill.
I do too.
That looks so awful. I've got to try that once.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, what else? Like, what kind of takeaways do you guys like, then?
What do you mean takeaway?
I like more local takeaways.
Like fast food.
Oh, you mean
fast
takeout?
Fast food, technically, McDonald's or Chick-fil-A qualifies as takeaway, so I'll go with that. But there's a couple of local places that I love around here. Like, there's a burger joint called Newt's. and
Okay.
they have basically like 6-ounce burger patties, topped in a bunch of ways. Like the one that's my favorite is called the Pipeline, which is provolone cheese, teriyaki sauce, and pineapple.
Oh, it's not called the Pipeline because you shit out a pipeline the next day?
Nah, it feels like it though. But yeah, we've got to take it to a Hooters too, man.
Oh, that's awesome. I love this. Great.
My favorite carry-out. Well, it depends on the type of food. Pizza is Papa Gino's by far, and that's a chain. So people are gonna tell me I'm a pizza I'm like I don't know what they're gonna tell me, but I love Papa Gino's pizza. But my favorite dinner is probably from a local little mom and pop shop called Papa T's, but they make the best chicken marinara, or what the fuck is the right word for that? Chicken parmesan.
Okay.
But when they bake it, they bake it with like a layer of Parmesan and mozzarella cheese on top. So like you get this crusty mozzarella Parmesan cheese layer on like the top of it. It comes in this tinfoil dish take home, and it's like circular. You know what I'm talking about? Those circular pasta dishes that takeout comes in. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You don't know what I mean. But the top layer is just mozzarella and Parmesan cheese melted and crusty, and oh, it's so fucking delicious.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm pretty much, I don't like Chinese that much. I do like high quality Chinese, but when it comes to your
I hate
cheap
Chinese food.
cheap
Chinese
and
food
cheerful
tastes
Chinese is awful. It's just oil.
Panda Express is pretty good.
All Chinese food tastes old. I don't
No,
know why.
The pizza place that I had the other day that I actually posted the food pictures of is really good. It's a place called the Pleasant City Firewood Grill. It's all like brick oven fired pizza,
Oh, nice.
and it's delicious. And they have
Well,
a
like
beer
stone
selection.
baked or
Yeah.
yeah.
And the other place I had with that, I posted that sandwich, which is their cheeseburger club, is a place called the Shelby City Cafe,
Oh, nice.
and it's just it is just a cheeseburger made into a club sandwich.
Sweet.
We do also get a fair amount, I guess maybe a fair amount of, what is it called? Chuck's Steakhouse and Margarita Grill. So they got like real, like authentic, I guess, quote unquote, in quotes, authentic, like taco salad and chimichangas and like fucking.
What's the chimichanga? Because I've heard that.
It's a burrito that's been deep fried.
Yeah, it's basically a deep fried burrito.
Jesus.
It's fucking delicious.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh,
You have to remember, when I say Jesus a lot of the time, I'm thinking, oh dear Jesus, that sounds so awful. I want it.
Yeah.
You're like having an orgasm.
Not quite, but nearly.
Oh God, I gotta take you to real barbecue places.
Oh, really?
Like real Western North Carolina barbecue, where they use like sweet sauce instead of like the spicy stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's like barbecue cooked for like 12 hours over a pit.
That sounds awesome. Like, that's the thing. In Europe, like, a lot of people kind of scoff at American food because it feels like a lot of the time what you make, you lack in quality, you make up for in quantity. Like, when it comes to steaks, for example. It's like, it's more a really big fucking steak than a really nice steak. You know? Would you say that's actually true?
I would say that. I say we have a very few like unique foods that are distinctly American.
Okay. Because I just didn't know, because I've been to America when I was like 9, and that was like half of my lifetime ago because I'm young, and that's, you know, it's just like, it just doesn't mean much to me, a lot of it. I remember though, the food portions were way bigger in America.
They are.
Like, if you went into a McDonald's, like, what would be an extra large or whatever over here?
Would
It's
be a
like
large.
your regulars.
Yeah, like that's a funny thing. Like even comparing like soda sizes that you'd get at a fast food joint.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because if you look at a regular at McDonald's in America versus a regular at McDonald's in say Australia, because I saw this comparison on Reddit, the large in Australia is considered a regular in the United States.
Yep. And you're just like, geez, it's tap dancing crest. And
because I think the one unique thing America does have is barbecue, and certain southern foods.
Yeah, what kind of southern foods would you recommend?
Fried alligator
That's actually pretty good. Tastes a lot like chicken.
Interesting.
from Louisiana.
Traditional, like fried chicken, dirty rice,
Fried
and stuff like
alligator.
that.
Nope. Fried alligator.
Fuck you,
Always
Code.
incredible.
That's actually more of a Florida thing, believe it or not.
That's a Louisiana thing.
A Louisiana and Florida kind of thing. You tend to get it more there. But like dirty rice and biscuits, cookies, but actual just like, cooked biscuits.
You know where you get the best fucking biscuits? Red Lobster. Those cheesy, buttery, fucking
Those are delicious.
biscuits. Those are like orgasmic. They are that good. I will come in my pants.
Someone in chat said soul food.
Soul
That's
food.
like,
That's Southern food. That's...
yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Is-
We got to get you hush puppies, too.
What's a hush puppy?
A hush puppy is a piece of cornbread that has been deep fried.
Jesus
And
Christ.
it was what it was made for. It was made by slaves during the days of the pre-Civil War, and they would feed them to dogs to get them to be quiet.
That's amazing. Hush puppies. Yeah, that makes sense.
But like collard greens and watermelon and, well, not watermelon, but like fried chicken and stuff like that.
Oh Lord, it's some fried watermelon. Can you get fried watermelon?
Sadly, no. I've never seen it, so.
Oh. I want fried watermelon.
Oh God. What else is there? Shit, I live in this. Oh, because
You need a good gumbo.
Gumbo's good from New Orleans. Yeah.
Nice.
I like fish. I'm a fucking huge fan of a nice swordfish steak.
Oh?
Never had like a swordfish steak?
I don't think so.
Just a slab of swordfish.
Oh God.
No.
There is one unique dish in my area, and it's called liver mush.
Okay.
And it's basically
liver.
it's liver and cornmeal and spices mixed.
Jesus.
And usually you would take it and like pan fry it.
Nice.
Makes
I'm trying to...
makes a good sandwich too. The closest thing that the northern part of the United States has is scrapple, which is, like Jason says, it's American haggis.
How true, by the way, is the fat people thing in America?
Go to a Walmart or go to a fucking Golden Corral. Oh my fucking
Like,
God.
is like, okay, so for every... Okay, so let's say you're walking down your local... I don't know what the equivalent would be. We call them high streets here.
Probably Main Street.
Yeah. Like, so you're walking down one of those. 100 people, 100 regular people. How many would you say
Not
are
many. It's
fat?
not.
And how
No.
many people are oh fuck fat?
Very few are going to be fuck fat. Maybe one at most.
One at most,
At
because
least
the rest
where I
of
live.
one at most, but the rest of them are driving.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
when I go to like downtown, my local city, quote unquote, Hartford's not much of a city, but there's very few fat people.
Yeah, you
very,
don't
very, very few.
Yeah, you don't see fat people walking. They're mostly drive, and they'll get the closest parking spaces.
The only time I ever see fat people out in downtown Hartford is when the cupcake bus, which is like a van that delivers, stops on the side of the road and people can buy cupcakes. Then the fat people come out.
they arrive for the cupcake. Yeah, I know. I think it's probably that England is probably really fucking similar nowadays to America and fat people. But the thing is that it isn't that a lot of people are hugely fat, like oh fuck fat, like 300, 400 pound kind of fat, but there's a lot of overweight, Do you see the difference where like there's a normal slim person,
Yeah.
and then there's a lot of a bit chunkier people.
As far as oh fuck fat, to me, I only may see like one or two of those if I go to, say, a Walmart.
Yeah.
Like genuinely at mine, you don't see too many people that are oh fuck fat riding on the scooters. Mostly it's old people because the population in my area is median around
Old
40.
people.
Median around 45, 50.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
if you go to an area with a lot of older people, you won't see as many fat people.
Yeah, well, it's because they fucking die before they get old. It's true, isn't it? Like, it's like, oh, well. Do you know that being a smoker is actually beneficial to your country?
Why?
Yeah, because taxes.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I guess you're right.
firstly, taxes, and secondly, you have the fact of not only the taxes, you are going to live, on average, you'll live 5 years less. You'll be paying more out of tax anyway. You are living less, so you're not contributing to the aging population problem with pensions. So
very
in
good
reality, you actually save your country money, which I think is hilarious. Because, you know, like, I get why there's a lot of anti-smoking shit. Totally get it. Makes perfect sense. It's really bad for you. But, you know, so few people actually know, like, a lot of the statistics. It's like, you're definitely going to die of cancer. No, I'm a lot more likely of dying of cancer. All of us are probably going to fucking die of cancer at some point. Like, let's be real. Like, that's one of the leading things that's going to fucking kill us. Even if we were non-smokers, a lot of people get cancer.
Oh yeah.
And the thing, yeah, no, it definitely significantly increases the risk of you getting cancer. It's pretty much, you've just got to expect it more than anything. You shouldn't be one of those people that are like, oh no, I'm never going to get cancer, not me. It's like,
Your
your
body is currently filled with it. You're just fighting it off better now than you can later.
Exactly, it's like, that's just kind of how it works. And I just think it's quite funny, to be honest.
I just think we're all gonna die anyways, so you might as well enjoy your time on the Earth while you have it.
Woo!
Yeah, that's the depressing thing. It's like, I've often thought, like, because I don't really believe in a god, I'm like, I really would like to be immortal. Is there really any way that I could actually become immortal? The answer's no.
I wouldn't fucking do it.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it either.
You know what? Because that would just suck.
Well, no,
Like,
here's the thing. What happens if you're not immortal in the sense that if you got hit by a car or something, you still could die from that. But just that you're not going to die of natural diseases, you'll stop aging.
Okay, that I'm fine with.
Because if it does just get boring, you can just go, alright, I'm out.
Yeah, and just jump off of a fucking bridge.
Yeah, or shoot yourself or something.
For me, it's not even about being boring. It's about you're going to raise a family, you're going to have all your friends, you're going to see them die off.
Well,
right?
no,
It's gonna
like,
be
what if it got to a
pets.
point where society in general, like, we've stopped aging?
That would be the definition of China, right? We would have an extreme population problem.
Well, no, it wouldn't be the definition of China.
It would be.
No, like, it would create an overpopulation problem, but that doesn't mean...
AKA China.
Yeah, but that isn't China, like, the fact that everyone's fucking immortal.
I don't. I think they're immortal. They don't go away.
No, they're coming for you, fucks. Did you know that China actually overtook you in being the wealthiest country in the world recently?
Yeah, I know.
But it's a one
Get
thing
fucked.
about their GDP. Because they artificially inflate that.
No, that isn't in GDP.
Okay.
That's in spending and buying power. They can actually outbuy the US now.
I knew it was coming.
Yep, and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
until they fucking just spend themselves into debt. Now they're trying to look for people to buy debt.
Oh no, they're not going to do the American thing because they already own all your toxic debt.
True.
They're
They own
like,
a
yeah,
lot.
just lend from us. Just get into more and more debt that you're never going to pay off. It's fine. It's cool.
Right.
We've got enough.
Alright, guys. Well, I'm starting to actually get a little bit tired here.
Oh, well, that's fair enough. Should we
Yeah.
call it a stream then?
Yeah, I think that
We
was a
can
good
call
one.
it a stream.
That was a good one. So
I think that was great.
we will we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Be sure to check back right here at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the stream. If you like this video, go ahead and give it that thumbs up. If you want to see more of us, just hit that subscribe button. Let your friends know. We've actually had a lot of problems trying to grow our audience a little bit, and we ask that you share us, let more people know about us. If you think people will like us, you can bring them in here, whatever. You know, we like doing a little bit of audience interaction, as you guys know. So we want to do more of that.
Yeah, and just remember, fuck fat people
Yeah, fuck fat people. I'm
And fuck the
slowly
SJWs.
and SJWs.
hashtag not your shield. All right, guys, you take it easy. Bye.
Code to the MRA.